Superclass 85, a night of champions. I'm Larry Nelson, and with me, the man that put the whole thing together, Mr. Vern Gagne. Vern, it was a tremendous amount of work, but you've got to be proud of the results.
Well, I am, and I'd like to thank each and every one of these people that came out here tonight to watch this great event, this great spectacular night of wrestling.
The greatest night in the history of professional wrestling begins momentarily. Superclass 85, a night of champions. Starting off our first bout in Superclass 85, Brad Ringens is going to challenge light heavyweight champion Steve Regal. Brad, he's so quick.
He sure is, Larry, but I'm ready. I've been training intensely for the last 2 months as if I was going for that gold medal in 1980, and believe me, baby, I'm hungry for it, and Steve Regal better be ready because I'm coming for the gold. I'm coming for that light heavyweight championship.
Thank you, Brad. Brad Ringens on his way to the ring. He will challenge light heavyweight champion Steve Regal. Light heavyweight champion Steve Regal on his way to the ring to battle Brad Ringens, maybe the strongest opponent you have ever defended against.
Yes, he may be the strongest opponent, but he's a good amateur wrestler. I am the light heavyweight champion of the world. I intend to remain so. Brad Ringens is probably the #1 amateur wrestler in the world, but I am the #1 light heavyweight under 220 pounds, and don't you forget it, baby.
Now the battle for the light heavyweight championship of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is scheduled one fall with a 45-minute time limit. And is for the AWA World's Light Heavyweight Championship. Introducing at 219 pounds from the Sunshine State of Florida, the reigning AWA champion Steve, Mr. Electricity Regal. His challenger, 219 and 1/2 pounds from Appleton, Minnesota, the Olympian Brad Ringens. One fall and the 45-minute time limit.
Light heavyweight champion Steve Regal defending the title against Brad Ringens. Hello, I'm Larry Nelson. Light heavyweight champion Steve Regal has held this belt for a couple of years now. He got it from Buck Rock'n'Roll Zumhoff. Steve Regal is a great wrestler. There's no getting around that. But he is in the ring against Brad Ringens. Brad, an Olympic great and probably the strongest man Steve Regal has ever had to defend the title against. It took a lot for Ringens to get down to the 220-pound limit. And this should be a great match. Brad Ringens, everybody knows, a no-nonsense wrestler. He's in there, and he will be giving Steve Regal the battle of his life. They go collar and elbow, and it's underway. Superclass 85, a night of champions. The most sensational night in the history of professional wrestling. Coming at you from Chicago, Illinois. This first bout for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Regal missing the right. You don't do that against Brad Ringens. Get him mad, Steve, and you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble. A grand total of 10, count them 10 championship matches. Now look at that. Excellent wrestling moves by Steve Regal. Steve recently shaved his beard. Brad Ringens right back with some smooth moves of his own. And Ringens in control. Regal goes to the ropes, right above us, and they're going to have to break it up. A clean break from Brad Ringens. It's the kind of guy he is. You may have heard Regal shouting at the crowd. Steve is such an arrogant wrestler. Very unpopular with the fans, mostly because of his tactics and the fact that he is maybe the most arrogant wrestler in the profession. And right now, he's in a powerful grip of Brad Ringens. Down he goes. And Brad Ringens talking to the referee. I did not get that. Now Regal trying to hook him over. All he got was a 2 count in this situation. Brad Ringens with that tremendous amateur background. Helped coach the Olympians. Excellent wrestler and an excellent coach. And he's been given a lot of credit for the success of our Olympic team. And of course, everybody knows about light heavyweight champion Steve Regal. He is from Fort Lauderdale. And he is a good wrestler. You don't like his tactics. You don't like his arrogance. You've got to give him his due. This man is the champion. Has been that way for a couple of years now. That's the kind of stuff we don't like to see. Regal coming out of the break with a punch to Ringen's belly. Ringens and Regal having troubles here. There's the block. Anything can happen when they're coming off the ropes like this. They're both fast, and there goes Regal. Steve Regal being bounced all over the mat now by Brad Ringens, and finally Brad comes up with an arm bar. Now look at that pain on Steve Regal's face. Not only do they have that tremendous pressure on the arm, but when Regal is flat on his back, it's downward pressure as well. And that's what makes it such a miserable situation. Now Regal did what he had to do. That's get to his feet. He'll back Brad Ringens into a corner, and Regal out of the hole with a punch to Ringens. And another one. This is the Steve Regal we're used to. He'll take Ringens across the ring and get some trouble of his own. Steve Regal with a momentary advantage, but Brad Ringens takes it right back away from him, and now Regal's in trouble. First time I've seen Steve without that beard, it makes a tremendous difference on him, and he is so proud of his looks. Brad Ringens again on the arm. That's an arm bar on light heavyweight champion Steve Regal. And Ringens cranks it up, and look at the intensity. Now all of a sudden Regal reversing it, and he's got a hammerlock on Ringens. Steve Regal is very quick. Ringens with the leg takedown. It's getting fast and furious. Cartwheel, drop kick, but he missed it, and that's going to put a pain and a half on Brad Ringens, and now he's in worlds of trouble. Steve Regal is the light heavyweight champion of the world, takes Ringens to the ropes. And now he senses an opening, and like any champion, when he can sense these things and feel these things, he can turn it into trouble for his opponent in a big hurry, and that's exactly what he seems to have done to Brad Ringens. Toes across the eyes and forehead, rips the skin off, and then follows it up by raking the eyes. Steve Regal giving away power here, but he is so clever and so fast and absolutely vicious. That shows you absolutely how vicious Steve Regal can be. Now look at Ringens, he's hurt. Here's where Steve Regal makes his mistake. He goes out and shows off to the crowd a little bit instead of staying right on top of him. And here is another place I believe Ringens makes his mistake, or Regal makes mistakes frequently. He does not hook the leg. And Brad Ringens is easily able to kick out of that thing. It's arrogance. Regal wants to show that he can do it without hooking the leg, which that time he didn't, and maybe it cost him the match, which means down the road, tonight, could cost him the light heavyweight championship of the world. Ringens and Regal. Steve Regal hanging on. Now look at the brute power there. Look at these men. Power on power. Battling it out. Ringens trying to shove out of this thing. Regal trying to hang on. And you can see Ringens is winning the battle of the power right now. Look at this. Right in there on the expressions on their faces. Now what's going to happen? It looked like hair by Regal. It looked like Regal got some hair. The referee is asking, and of course Steve Regal is going to deny it. From my vantage point, I'll tell you, it was too quick. I don't know if he got the hair or not. Now Regal, suddenly with the advantage on Brad Ringens again, going askew. Has him in that headlock. You see the strike there on Brad Ringens' face. 2 count. Now how in the world I think they just caught Brad Ringens napping a little bit there, or trying to feel his way out of the hold and didn't realize his shoulders were dead. Now again, Ringens is going to try to power out of it. And let me tell you, when Brad Ringens puts power on you, you're talking about one of the most powerful in the world. He's almost got this reversed. Brad Ringens turning it over on Steve Regal. Regal trying to bridge. Now look at the sweat on his face. And again, I didn't see what happened. And again, the crowd is saying it was hair. But the referee didn't see it. And that's the man that counts. Now it's all reversed. And again, Brad Ringens is in trouble. I got him. The headlock on him. Regal goes, I got him. And again, Brad Ringens is going to try to power out of this thing. He didn't get the start on it that time. Steve Regal, the light heavyweight champion of the world for about 2 years now. He won the title from Buck Rock and Roll Zumhofe at the Civic Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. And the two have met several times since then. Somehow Regal always manages to hang on to that crown. He has been a very active champion, going all over the world as all these great wrestlers do. Steve Regal has defended in Asia, in Europe, in Australia, in Mexico, in Canada, as well as all over the United States. Truly a sensational star. But now, he's in Chicago against Brad Rheingans, who's trying to power it out on him. And we've said this before, and that time we saw the hair. Regal definitely going to the hair to break that hold. Brad Rheingans has been in this headlock for quite a while now. And believe me, when you cut off the blood to the brain with this squeezing tactic that Regal is putting on here, it slows down every part of a wrestler's performance. Steve Regal's such a smart wrestler. He's got to slow Rheingans down and then take the power away. And look at him, that's exactly what he's doing. Body slam. He'll come off the ropes with that flying elbow. The cover, this time he did hook the leg. He only got 2 of them. Rheingans kicked out of it. You really got to beat on Brad Rheingans to take enough out of him to get a 3 count. But Regal has been working on him for quite a while, and now we go to the body slam. Again, you saw the entire mat shake. Regal way up, went for the elbow, missed it. The crowd loves it. Brad Rheingans had enough left to realize he had to roll away from that thing. And now both of them seem to be a bit shook up, but of course Regal, wait a minute. Brad Rheingans waiting on him, there's the chop. And Rheingans going to work on Steve Regal. Anything can happen when they come out of the ropes. That time it was the boot. Look at Rheingans, he is hot. Brad Rheingans. Regal leaves his feet across the ring and gets thrown about 10 feet in the air. Covered by Rheingans for the title. He got 2.5 of them. Another half second, we would have had a new light heavyweight champion of the world. Don't count Brad Rheingans out of it. He's got Steve Regal in trouble and trouble deep right now. What's he going to do with him? Atomic drop. Cover. Hook the leg, Brad. Wait a minute. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin at ringside. Brad Rheingans has Regal covered in the center of the ring. Seemed to have him for the pin. Garvin interferes. Now Regal grabs Rheingans, distracted by Garvin. He got 3 of them. Wait a minute. Come on! Steve Regal, ambushed, but holds the title.
Somehow you did it. You held on to the light heavyweight championship against Brad Rheingans. And it was my gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. I don't believe it. Hey, he just came up to see how I was doing. He just came to watch the match. He did not interfere. I did not pull Brad Rheingans' trunks. I pinned him right in the center. 1, 2, 3, just like a champion would, and just like this champion did. And I'm still the AWA light heavyweight champion of the world.
Woo! Now your means are despicable. I want to tell you that for all these people here
Who
tonight.
paid you to say that, Nelson?
Nobody paid me for it. It was easy to see. Still the light heavyweight champion of the world, Steve Regal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 8 minutes, 19 seconds, and the winner, Steve Regal.
Jerry Martel will now challenge for the ladies' championship of the world. Any tactic in mind?
The only tactic that I have in mind is to take in the strap from Candy Divine tonight. I've chased her all over, and tonight she is mine.
You've got her in Chicago. Sherry Martel on her way for the next championship bout right here on Super Clash 85. This is the ladies heavyweight champion of the world, Candy Divine, on her way to defend the title. Sherry Martel says she's been chasing you all over the country.
Well, she has, and tonight we're going to have our match, and we'll see who's tough when I beat her tonight and retain my belt.
Right now, let's go to the ring for the ladies heavyweight championship of the world. Well, in the ring, you see Sherry Martel. Well, wait a minute. All right, let's go back to the action. This is out on the field here in Chicago. Brad Riggins chased Steve Regal all the way back to the infield and body slammed him on the infield grass. Brad Riggins extremely upset at having lost his shot at the light heavyweight championship, due mainly to the interference of gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match, one fall, once again with a 45-minute time limit. The AWA.
Now let's get into the ring for the ladies heavyweight championship bout. The champion is Candy Devine. Candy Devine, a sensational champion. They're introducing at this moment the challenger, Sherry Martel. That's Candy Devine that you see there. Candy, a beautiful young lady, showing off that championship belt. She is something, but she will be challenged. This Sherry Martel is a sensational wrestler and very lovely in her own right, and mean as mean can get. They're handing the belts over to our table now. The belt, beautiful belt, worn by Candy Devine. They'll check Candy out. Look at Sherry Martel pacing over there. Sherry just pacing over there like a cat. Anxious for this thing to get on. Little intimidation push on the referee, but nothing important. She knows that something like that's going to jeopardize it. Look at the intensity there. Look at the intensity in that young lady. Now out of the ring for some reason. They usually do this for psychological reasons. The referee wants to check her out, wants to see if she's carried any foreign objects in the ring. Sherry's not having anything to do with it. Won't let the referee pat her down. Can you imagine being a referee in this match against a chic cat like Sherry Martel? And now finally she's going to let herself get checked over, but not all that well. Whoa. Little close there. Sherry Martel in a very angry mood. Of course, she has to psych herself up for her shot at the ladies heavyweight championship. Now they're getting their instructions from the officials saying don't pull the hair, don't whatever. I'll tell you, these young ladies are going to fight and fight hard. First of all, they don't like one another, and there is the bell. Candy Devine taking control, throws Sherry Martel and establishes rank right off the bat. Now, much like you will see a baseball manager bait the officials early, that's exactly what Sherry Martel did there with the reference to the referee, setting herself up for the close call the next time. But again, Candy Devine flips her. Candy Devine is a sensational wrestler. Don't sell Sherry Martel short. She's not the champion, but probably the #1 contender. And now it's Candy Devine working on Sherry Martel. Upper arm bar. And did she use the hair or didn't she? She says no. The crowd said yes. It happened quick. I thought she did. Whatever. If the ref doesn't see it, it's not a foul. And suddenly Sherry Martel has control now, working on the arm of the incredible Candy Devine. That is an arm bar. Now in this position, she not only has the pain of having the hold on Candy, but because she's got her down, the downward pressure makes it 10 times worse. And Candy Devine doing exactly what she had to do, getting to her feet. That is step #1 to getting out. Now look at the tug on the trunks there of Sherry Martel to gain her advantage. Our official is asking her about it. She's denying it. And again, the ref can't do anything because he didn't catch her. Candy Devine somehow kicking out of that thing and coming up with an arm lock of her own. That's a hammer lock. And now what she's doing, she's got both the arms of Sherry Martel tied up. But Sherry Martel is in the ropes, and the referee makes them break it. Candy Devine going right back to work on the arm. Both these ladies seem to be wanting to take the arms away. That seems to be the tactic they want to apply, at least in the early going. Well, that is a tactic all its own. That looked like a closed fist to me. Again, too fast. The referee out of position. Sherry Martel going to the roughhouse tactics now. Going to do anything that she can to take that championship away from Candy Devine, breaking her head first into the turnbuckle. Candy Devine down and stunned, and now, instead of pressing her advantage, Sherry Martel strutting around the ring and then finally back to the attack with that boot to the head. She better not let up on Candy Devine. This young lady is one heck of a champion. Head knocker. Down goes Candy Devine. Sherry Martel slow to press her advantage. I don't understand that. Then gives her the boot to the head. That was, I guess, the knee to the back of the head. Came wild across the ring and let her have it that time. And you can see that Candy Devine is stunned and in pain, and now she's going out of the ring. right through the second strand of the ropes. If she throws her over the top rope, that's an automatic disqualification. Sherri Martel throwing her out of here. Now has lost track of her. Candy Devine from behind. Out goes Sherri Martel, but she went over the top rope. Now what's that? Is that the disqualification? Wait a minute. What's going on here? Well, apparently they have not disqualified her, even though she did go over the top rope, but the referee did stop the action. I don't know the ruling on that one. I know that Sherri Martel is having a fit with the people at ringside. Our referee is doing everything he can to counter out. Candy Devine is going crazy in the ring. Now, I don't know what Sherri Martel is protesting. She doesn't want to come back in there. I don't blame her. Candy Devine is hot. Well, she gets halfway in and then right back out, and now over with a little help from Candy Devine comes Sherri Martel. Look at that flip. Look at that. Candy Devine flipping it again. Belly first onto that mat goes Sherri Martel. This could be the end of her dream to become the ladies heavyweight champion of the world. Boston Crab. This can do it. Very, very painful hold somehow. Martel out of it. Got a 2 count. Can't hold it. Head knock in the it's fast out there. Sherri Martel taking control of the match momentarily again. And Candy Devine is hurt. A solid punch to the jaw, was it, or was it the open hand? We couldn't see it, neither could the referee. And down goes Candy Devine. Sherri Martel working very methodically here. Way up and brings the leg down across the throat. Or was it the upper chest? Candy Devine right in front of us now, and it looks to me like she's grabbing her throat. That is illegal. And now in a small package, Martel goes for the title. Candy Devine somehow gets out of it. Sherri Martel making her bid serious now for the heavyweight championship of the world. Covers, hooks the leg, only got a 2 count. Candy Devine through Sherri Martel right on the referee. Sherri Martel complaining of a slow count. No, that was simply a 2 count and a 2 count only. And now Martel throws Candy Devine out of the ring again. I don't understand this tactic. I'll tell you why. She had control of the match. Why throw Candy Devine out there on that dirt and give her time to recuperate from the beating she's been taking? Maybe Martel needs the break too. I do not know, but it just doesn't seem to make sense to me. Press your advantage in the ring. Now, inside in an arena, when you throw someone out on the cement floor, yes, true, you got a chance of ending the match. Now Candy Devine trying to come back in. A flying knee knocks her back down there. Candy Devine is hurt. But let me again point out the resiliency of professional wrestlers. It's more important to have the resilient quality in this sport than it is in any other. And you don't get to be a champion without having it. Candy Devine is a champion, and she will come back. And again, Sherri Martel lets her get up on the ring apron and then puts that knee, this time in her midsection. Down goes Candy Devine. Sherri Martel going absolutely crazy in there. This is a more or less a King of the Mountain game, like you played when you were a kid with 2 participants in a wrestling ring. Candy Devine needs to get back in. Now she's got her, and everybody's going outside. Candy Devine working on Sherri Martel in the ring apron. Uh-oh! She's going to bring her spread eagle into that ring post, and then takes the leg and slams it into that steel post. Now I think we're going to get the body slam outside the ring on the ground. And now it's Candy Devine who is in the ring, and Sherri Martel who's outside. The referee is not counting yet. He's backing Candy Devine up. Sherri Martel is up, trying to get back into the ring, and it's the King of the Mountain game, only now it's reversed. Now let's see if Candy Devine is going to let Sherri Martel back in the ring. Well, Sherri Martel doesn't want to come back in the ring. Rolled halfway in, didn't like what she saw, and got out of there. Sherri Martel in the ring now. These two ladies are mad, and they're about half tired. They've been beating on one another for quite a while now. Candy Devine cranking it up on Sherri Martel. That's an upper wrist lock. Candy Devine cranking and cranking, trying to take the arm of Sherry Martel completely off. This is an arm bar now, and also a wrist lock. She's got her in all kinds of trouble here. She being Candy Devine, working on Sherry Martel. Candy Devine did not become the champion for nothing. She is one very tough wrestler, and she got a 2 count. That's a signal we got from the referee. Now Sherry Martel trying to bring this up and over. No, sir. Down she goes. Candy Devine holding on to that arm bar and the wrist lock. The referee signaled something to us, and I'm not exactly sure what. From where we are right now, Candy Devine has got Sherry Martel in trouble. Sherry has got to get to her feet. That's step number 1 to getting out of this. Now look at the pain. Look at the pain, but also the intensity as she tries, in spite of that pain, to get out of the hold, find a way. Almost made it. Almost got to the ropes and knocked back down again, and she's got to start all over again. Candy Devine has Sherry Martel right where she wants her, trying to take the arm away. Take a weapon out of the arsenal, at the same time weaken her up. Now again, keep in mind, Sherry Martel has got to get to her feet. No, she doesn't. She simply somehow rolled over and through the hold. I think Candy Devine expected her to go to her feet, and that was it. Sherry Martel out of it and took control. A very smart wrestling move. And now Martel is going nuts. Taking control of this match. First she punches, and now she stomps. And now she lets up, and that is a mistake. She better press her advantage. Now look at Sherry Martel going to the crowd. Going to the crowd saying she can handle it instead of pressing her advantage. Now comes over with the knee, and down goes Candy Devine. Sherry Martel raking the boot, tearing the skin off the head. That's what it will do to you. And now kicking. Look at Candy Devine. She knows she's in trouble. Sherry Martel bringing her up. Now she's got her in the... Oh, come on. That was a closed fist. Now let's get reasonable about this. Where's the official? That was a closed fist. Make no mistake about it. Sherry Martel in total control. And again, the stomping on the back of the neck. She is just taking as much wind out of the sails as Candy Devine as she possibly can. Before she goes for any kind of wind. Into the ropes, anything can happen. She flipped her over the back of the head, knocking the wind out of her. It looked like Candy Devine going for a sunset slip, but if you look, you can see how weakened Candy Devine is right now. Into the ropes again, anything can happen, and this time, she got the sunset flip! But Sherry Martel kicks out of it. That was almost a dramatic end to a match. Candy Devine is in terrible trouble. She has got to get some sort of a break in this thing, and there's a clothesline from Sherry Martel. And right now, the ladies champion of the world is in serious trouble as she is being worked over, and I mean worked over by Sherry Martel. Sherry Martel picking her up. This is going to be a back suplex. I don't know how much more Candy Devine can take. Her resiliency, like it is with any champion, is so, but look at this lady. She has been battered pillar to post, and now Martel going to the top rope, coming down with the knee across the chest. Hooks the leg, and it's a 3 count. And we've got a new champion. We have a new champion. The referee comes over to me and says, we've got a new champion, and there she is. Sherry Martel is the new heavyweight champion of the world. She's after that belt. Now, how in the world? Who would have expected it? And now going to work with Candy Devine, beating her over the head with that belt. Come on, get her out of there.
11 minutes 44 seconds, the winner, and the new women's champion, Sherry.
There she is, the new heavyweight champion of the world, Sherry Martel. Why did you attack her after the match was over with the belt? Why?
Tested her for years. She's power. She dodges me. Now we know who's a better woman. I told you she was crazy.
Well, whether you like it or not, the new ladies heavyweight champion of the world is Sherry Martel. 3 men here who are going to be challenging for the Asian 6-man heavyweight championship.
Championship. The Long Riders, Wild Bill and Scott Hogg and Harley Race. We're just going to show these race rocket makers how to fight in this country. We're going to show the race rocket makers. Harley Davidson, Harley Race.
Let me tell you this. We didn't fly all the way up here to wrestle outside here in this ballpark to get our rear ends kicked. We come to win, and win we're going.
They're on their way to the ring to challenge for the Asian Six-Man Tag Championship. He's bringing it home, the Asian Six-Man Championship in tag team action. Jumbo Tsuruta, the great Tenryu, and the legendary Giant Baba. Welcome to Chicago, gentlemen. And thank you very much. They're on their way to the ring to defend the Six-Man Tag Team Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match, once again, one fall, 35 minutes, will be your time. Introducing the challenger for the Six-Man Asian Tag Team Championship, running over 275 pounds from Kansas City, 7-time NWA World Champion, Handsome Harley Race. And a combined weight of 555 pounds from Iron Range, Minnesota, the Long Riders, Scott and Bill Irwin. And the fighting Six-Man champions at 260 pounds from Tokyo, Japan, Tsuruta. At 266 pounds, also from Tokyo, Tenryu. And at an even 300 pounds from Tokyo, the Giant Baba. One fall and the 45-minute time limit.
Well, this should be one dandy battle. You've got two ex-heavyweight champions in there. On the Oriental side, the Giant Baba is a legend. 300 pounds. The great Tenryu, the young man with the incredible skills. And the former AWA heavyweight champion, Jumbo Tsuruta. Lost his title to Rick Martel about 2 years ago. On the American side, what can I tell you about the Long Riders? They are so controversial. They come straight to the wrestling ring off of their Harleys. They park the bikes, get off the bikes, and come to the ring. They have chosen to be their third man, a living legend, if there is one. And that is Harley Race. This man, 7 times, has held the NWA Heavyweight Championship of the world. That man right there, Harley Race, a very dangerous wrestler. It's going to be Scott Hogg Irwin against the great Tenryu to open things up. Scott Hogg puts the head into the chest of Tenryu, who did not like it. Hey, anything can happen here. I mean, anything can happen here. Anytime you get Scott Hogg Irwin, Scott goes about 300 pounds, but look at Tenryu, unintimidated. He is not the least bit impressed as he cranks it up. These are the 3 greatest wrestlers in Japan right now. And let me tell you what, when you put them all together, you've got an almost unbeatable package. But look at Scott Hogg. He's not that impressed either. Working on Tenryu, who turns it around. Down goes the big man. Drop kick Tenryu. Wait a minute. Harley Race. Scott Hogg has had enough of that. He's going to tag the 7-time NWA champion Harley Race. And Tenryu taking up on Race right where he left off on Scott Hogg Irwin, excuse me. Okay, Harley Race, 7-time champion, knows he's got to get to his feet to eliminate the downward pressure. He does that immediately. This Tenryu, young babyface kid, believe me, he's a sensational wrestler. Look at that, right under Race, who doesn't know what happened to him, and Tenryu with the body slam back on him. The great Tenyaru, and Harley Race just kind of backs off to think about it a little bit. Look at Harley. This man is a mental fella, too. Not just big and strong. He thinks about it. Also very vain, calling himself Handsome Harley Race. Tsuruta in there all of a sudden. I didn't even see the tag. Must have been when Harley tagged in. And now Jumbo Tsuruta, the former AWA heavyweight champion, in the wrong corner, taken to the ropes by Wild Bill Irwin, who's in the ring. He explodes with the knee. Tsuruta bracing, seeming to be unable to get out of the way. Irwin gave him the foot, takes him to the turnbuckle, into the ropes again. Wild Bill Irwin going crazy, tries for the pin early. No way. You got to jump. You got to soften Jumbo Tsuruta up a lot more than that before you can get him without even an attempt to hook the leg pin. Wild Bill Irwin establishing his authority right away in that ring. A lot of moves on Jumbo Tsuruta. Goes to the headlock. Tsuruta will try to power out of it. Jumbo Tsuruta, a former AWA champion, and he's going to get out of it, but he doesn't realize Wild Bill made the tag, and Harley Race is in there to work on Tsuruta. These two former champions, head to head now. Tsuruta throws out of it. Race off with that block, and down goes Jumbo Tsuruta. Back to the ropes. Look at that knee. Tsuruta way up in the air to level Harley Race, and now the big man, Giant Baba. This guy and Tsuruta both delivering the punch to Harley Race. Can you imagine running into Giant Baba? Look at this man. He is incredible, but he isn't knocking Harley Race off his feet. Harley standing up under those chops. Baba bringing him back down now into a variation of a suplex. Goes for the cover. In comes Scott Hogg Irwin to break it up. Baba slowly to his feet. Baba not the fastest wrestler in the world. His size and his incredible strength. Harley Race with that headbutt. Why would anybody want to ram hands with heads with that big beast? And now they've got Baba in the corner. All three of them have got a shot at him. That's Race and Wild Bill beating on him from the outside. Now Harley Race distracting the referee while the Irwin brothers, well, actually Scott is standing there behaving himself. Baba is loose and he's mad. And believe me, it takes a lot to slow this big boy down. Into the ropes, there's a chop. I don't see how Wild Bill's head is still on its shoulders. Giant Baba now has Wild Bill Irwin in his corner. And in comes the great Tenyaru. Tenyaru with his elbow. This young man probably the fastest of the six wrestlers. Tenyaru going with a cover now. I don't think he's going to be able to get it this early. Scott Hogg came in to make sure, but Wild Bill Irwin out of it. Now there's the chop by Tenyaru. Tenyaru trying to take Irwin to the ropes, gets it reversed on him, ducks under. And Wild Bill Irwin coming up with an incredible boot to the jaw. And now Scott the Hog bringing his 305 pounds down on this young Tenyaru. Into the ropes and Hogg up with his knee. That ought to do it. That ought to turn the lights out on anybody. Scott Hogg bringing the knee down again. Crowd going crazy. Scott Hogg goes for the cover, doesn't hook the leg, and Tenyaru kicks out of it. But Irwin still has control. Oh no, Harley Race. Harley Race, such a methodical, and I mean, he is a man who shows no emotion in that ring. You get no mercy from Harley Race. Tenyaru, look at the resiliency of this young Japanese wrestler. Chopping away on Harley Race, down he goes, and Tenyaru somehow drawing on that incredible reserve, back in control. That kick to the back of the head floors Race. Covered by Tenyaru, he only got one of them. Harley Race kicking out of it, and they threw Tenyaru into the corner he did not want to be in. Wild Bill brings his neck down over that second strand, and then Race is right back on top of it. Now Tenyaru has got to make the tag. He's got to get out of here. He is in trouble, and he's got one of the masters working on him. Look at that. Look how methodically Harley Race thinks about it, waits for just the right leverage, and brings him down, but he only got a 2 count. Harley Race, one of the greatest of all time, 7-time NWA heavyweight champion. He's going to go for the pile driver. I don't see what in the world Tenyaru can do. Now, why is he just holding him like that? Finally, Harley Race brings the pile driver down on Tenyaru. That thing ought to be outlawed. Race will go for the cover. Jumbo Tsuruta comes in and puts the boot to the head of Harley Race. And I thought the 6-man Asian title was going to change hands right there, but the Asians are still in trouble. Harley Race with a cover, only got a 2 count. Look at this Tenryu. Admire the tenacity of this man hanging on. Here comes Wild Bill. Nope, that's Scott Hogg Irwin. And he comes in with the boots and the elbows, taking Tenryu to the ropes and then up with that foot. That big boot to the jaw. A 2 count. And what happened there? I think it was Saruta that came in and kind of broke that one up, but they still have Tenryu in such a bad position. This young man can't have anything left. The Irwins both throwing the elbow now to Tenryu. Wild Bill going for the cover. He counted to about 50, but the referee only gave him 2. Somehow, Tenryu has enough left to kick out of it. Wild Bill Irwin screaming and throwing the young Tenryu down on that mat. Now what's he going to do? The leg, nope, the knee across the upper chest. That ought to do it. What happened? No, Tenryu managed to get his foot across the bottom rope. Wild Bill has to break it. I thought we had new 6-man Asian champions. Wild Bill has Tenryu up, backdrop. You saw the whole canvas shake, and now they're going to bring in the biggest one of their team, 305-pound Scott Hogg Irwin to work on Tenryu. Tenryu can't have anything left. He desperately somehow has got to make the tag. There's the boot. Tenryu is up. He's got to get to the corner. He does! Saruta! Jumbo Saruta is hot, and he's in, and there's a boot dangerously close to the groin. Puts a chop on all 3 of his opponents. Takes Irwin to the ropes, chops him. There's the couple for Scott the Hog. Saruta, wait a minute, ambushed by, what is going on? Saruta got back into the control. Baba with a chop to Wild Bill's head. Now in comes Giant Baba. In Japan, this man is an absolute do-no-wrong idol. He has been a movie star. He has been in everything, and he is a sensational wrestler. Throws Wild Bill over the top rope. Now, come on. That's supposed to be an automatic disqualification. The referee may say that it was Wild Bill jumping that took him out of it. Scott Hogg comes over and tries to tend to his brother, who looks out cold. I mean, he went way over the top rope and down on the ground. Now, what's going on here? They're getting Wild Bill to his feet. I don't know who the legal man in the ring is. I don't know what the referee's doing. He's counting on Wild Bill. Giant Baba. There's the flip for Wild Bill Irwin. And look at the boot from this big man. And now he's going to tag out for a while, and they're going to let Tenryu come back in here and get some revenge. He's had a chance to get a little bit of a breather. And listen to him. Listen to that growl as he picks up Wild Bill Irwin and decks him. Tenryu got a 2 count, and that's all. Wild Bill Irwin kicking out of it. This has been non-stop action in this one for the Asian 6-man title. Tenryu with Wild Bill in the corner. Cautious, but not cautious enough. Tenryu made his move too late, telegraphed it. Wild Bill was there with a clothesline, and now you can see it. They're both hurt. Now look at him trying to get up. Wild Bill Irwin climbing the ropes to get up. Tenryu's still down, and Irwin on him. And again, it looks like a beating time for the young Tenryu. Head cracker. Tenryu, look at the obvious stunned look on his face, but somehow he was able to get up from that. Wild Bill Irwin brings one down across the back of the neck and another one across the side of the neck to Tenryu. Tenryu is down, he's in trouble, and he needs to tag out of there. Wild Bill flying across with the elbow again, and they've got Tenryu in trouble. He'll go for the cover. Only got a coup count. Tenryu kicking out of it. Did he make the tag? I believe he did. Wild Bill doesn't know it. Wait a minute, everybody's in this mess. Well, what can I tell you? Baba puts the boot on Wild Bill. Bill's the legal man in the ring, and there's your 3 count. And it's all over. And these great Japanese wrestlers keep their hold on the 6-man Asian Tag Team Championship. The boot from Giant Baba. Look at Wild Bill. He still doesn't know where he is. They threw him into the ropes. Giant Baba put that big boot in his jaw, and that was the end of it. It was over. Wait a minute. Wild Bill attacking Tenryu. He better get out of there. It's over. Now Baba stepping in between the two younger men, saying, hey, if you want to mess around, come on after me, fellas. No problem. I think order has been restored in the ring. And again, the Asians keep the six-man title. The Asians held on to the six-man title. Harley Race, the legend from St. Louis, and the Long Riders unable to take.
What do you mean unable? That was the illegal match. You know it, did you know it? And everybody around here knows it. Don't understand it.
You didn't get it. You didn't get the title. You didn't get the title. That's all there is to it. You didn't get it. You didn't get the title.
Title, it's not the title, it's how it's done. You said the legend in St. Louis. This is the legend of all wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're scheduled once again one fall with a 45-minute time limit for the NWA Midget Championship match. Your challenger, at even 100 pounds, he's from St. Joe, Missouri. Here is Little Mr. T. The reigning champion, at an even 99 pounds, from Tokyo, Japan, Little Tokyo. One fall, and your time limit 45 minutes.
No one ever knows what's going to happen when these guys lock it up. They are the midgets. Okay, they're smaller, but let me tell you, they have no less in wrestling skills. Little Tokyo, the midget champion of the world. He is from Tokyo. He is an incredible champion. He weighs about 100 pounds. So does Mr. T from St. Louis. And he says tonight is his night. He's going to this ring and he's taking the crown. Now these guys, so unpredictable, so very unpredictable. And as you might well understand, a lot smaller, but also a lot faster. Super Clash 1985, a Night of Champions, continuing in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Larry Nelson. Waiting on the bell now. Here it comes. Anything can happen when these midgets tangle. Little Tokyo and Little Mr. T. Even in weight, about even in experience. Well, of course, Little Tokyo with more experience as the champion, and he put one on T, and T didn't like it. Runs Tokyo out, brings him back in, cranks it up. Tokyo don't want nothing to do with it. And for some reason, Mr. T backing off. Little Mr. T is one heck of a wrestler. Of course, what can I say about Little Tokyo? He's the champion of the world. I almost said the heavyweight champion of the world. That's not right. But a very skillful wrestler. Pops one, and it looks like, looking from the reaction of Mr. T, it got him in the throat. Brought the forearm down, snap mare, and Little Tokyo. Is it a chin lock or is it a choke? We'll have to keep a very close eye on it, as will the referee. Whatever it was, Little Mr. T out of it in a flash, and now he's got the hammerlock on Little Mr. Tokyo. These guys are so unpredictable, whether they're in the ring or whether you're interviewing them or what. You don't know what they're going to do. Tokyo, body slam. Mr. T hangs on, but Tokyo reverses it. And Little Tokyo in control. Look at the strain on the face of Little Mr. T. These guys are absolute powerhouses. Midget size, but powerhouses. Little Tokyo bringing him down, the referee questioning. I did not see it. I don't know if he got the hair or part of the trunks or whatever that garb of Mr. T's, as you want to call it. Now he's got him to the hair. There's no doubt about that. He lets go and bombs one, drops one of those forearms across the chest. Little Mr. T comes back, and down goes Little Tokyo. And it looks like he came down on his nose on that mat. Now they're getting ready to box it up, it looked like. No, he got the arm. Little Tokyo, very cagey wrestler. That's why he's the champion. And now he's got the arm bar on Little Mr. T. Took something from behind, part of the outfit there, I believe, and took him down with it. Now Mr. T comes out of it, and he's got an arm bar on Little Tokyo, who immediately gets to his feet. Now what's going to happen? Punch to the chest, and there's one in the midsection. Little Tokyo with a fist to the head, and Little Mr. T, I think all that did was make him mad. There's another one. Doesn't seem to have any effect at all. There's one to the midsection, and that did. Now into the turnbuckle, and all that did is make Mr. T mad, and now he looks like he's ready. And he bopped him right in the jaw. Now it's the head to the turnbuckle, and down goes Little Tokyo. Little Mr. T all over him. Headbutt, cover. This could be the title change. He got two, and that is all. Little Tokyo managed to kick out of it. Little Mr. T cranking it up now in that headlock. The idea being, if you can kill the head, the body will die. And when you start squeezing the brains out of somebody, that's going to kill the head. No getting around it. Now that time, Little Tokyo got the hair, brought it down. The referee caught him. He's going to have to break it up. He doesn't care. Got him out of the hold. That's what he wanted to do. Little Tokyo with a shot to the chest of Little Mr. T. Puts him right back in that headlock. Mr. T does throw out of it. Blocked by Little Tokyo. Little Mr. T caught him and managed to put an armbar on him in mid-air that time. Look at this now. You think he's not in pain? Look at that. A little dental work could help the situation. Armbar on Little Tokyo. Armbar, Little Tokyo in trouble. Scrapes the eyes of Mr. T. Mr. T drops it. Now anything can happen. And again, they tangle up, and somehow he is hooking that arm as he goes by and getting that arm lock on him. Incredible. Now he's got the arm bar. He is up, Little Tokyo is down, and that means downward pressure. Now Little Tokyo doing what he has to do, get to his feet. And that cuts the pain and the problem in about half when you can get to your feet in a situation like that. Kick to the midsection once, twice, and Little Tokyo is out of it. And now he's working over Little Mr. T. It looked like that one caught him in the throat. There's one for the midsection. Boy, this is a mean wrestler. Now look at this. Tries to rip his nose off. Little Tokyo has him by the head, brings the foot up. Down goes Little Mr. T. Tokyo, suplex, rolls over, cover, does not hook the leg, and Little Mr. T just throws out of it. But then he catches one and then throws one, and now, somehow, some way, Little Mr. T back in control, pounding on Little Tokyo. Snapmare. Got him in a chin lock. Now the referee says he's choking, or asking him if he's choking. He did not make him break the hold. Little Tokyo trying for some hair. He's been having a field day pulling on that mohawk haircut there. Well, that's not really a mohawk. I don't know what you call that. Whatever it is. Little Tokyo has been having a wonderful time pulling on that hairdo, and there he goes again. He got it. He's out of the hold. Here come the feet. He wrestles barefoot, and when he brings those feet down on you, you can hear the crack even better than if it seemed like if there were a boot there. Up and down, way up in the air. Little Tokyo covers. Can he get him? No. Little Mr. T throwing out of it. He's still alive. He is having a very hard time in this match. You expect to have a hard time when you take on the champion. Into the ropes. Now what was that all about? Pointed up. Tokyo looked up. And he gave him one in the chin, and now everybody's looking up in the air. Now the referee is looking up in the air. Little Mr. T. I don't know what they're. I looked up in the air. Let me look up there. I didn't see anything. Well, there is a full moon. Maybe we can get a shot of that. Is that what they're looking at? Well, anyway, now they're back to beating the living daylights out of one another. Well, it's Little Tokyo working on Little Mr. T now. Little Mr. T taking him to the ropes, and now he's hollering no, look up, and it doesn't work. He gets knocked silly for his troubles. It worked for the goose, but it was feathers for the gander. Little Tokyo circling the ring now very warily. Look at Little Mr. T. He's got a bandage on his hand there. I don't know exactly what the problem is. We didn't get a chance to get that information from him. Now, Little Tokyo pounding away at the rib cage with his feet. Little Tokyo and Little Mr. T. This is for the midget. Look at that's one advantage of having the boots on when you bring them down on bare feet. And now Little Mr. T had him in a power position. Little Tokyo pulls up even and kicks his way into a better boot. Now they're all down there. Oh, right on the toes. Look at that little fella move. Yes. Got him right on the toe. He's going to walk it off. You see the heavy breathing there. Blow it out, get it out, and get back into battle. Your title's on the line. You see, he keeps glancing upward. Now he takes Mr. T down, rolls him over. This is the headlock. And he's got all of his weight on him. So not only does he have the hold, not only does Mr. T have to break the hold, but he's also got to get rid of all the weight that Little Tokyo has on him. Anytime you have your opponent in a downward position, you've got twice the advantage you would normally have. That's why he's got to get him up, and that's what he did. But he got one in the throat. The referee warning Little Tokyo, but the damage is done. You saw that one right in the throat, raking the eyes. This is one vicious little fella. Headbutt. Little Mr. T getting hot. Says, come on. He's going into his strut. This usually means trouble. Punched the midsection. Turned around and gave him the butt. Did it again. And he missed that one, and whoa. And now Little Tokyo right back on top of things. Boy, these two have been going at it hammer and tong. Into the ropes they come off. Tokyo backdrop at least 5 feet in the air. Little Mr. T, and now what do we got going here? We hear that guttural noise coming out of Little Tokyo. Gave him the chop to the throat, covers, hooks the leg. And he got 3 of them, and it's over. And Little Tokyo, once again, manages to successfully defend the Midget Tag Team Championship of the world. You see the effects that chop to the throat had on Little Mr. T. Just knocked him silly, and now Tokyo coming over to apply the boot, and now leaving the ring.
You see that? Mr. T, nothing to me, nothing to me.
Little Tokyo winning and successfully defending the Midget Championship of the world.
Now this is the feeling out process. They know one another very, very well. But still, they've got to go through this feeling out process because neither one of them knows the particular strategy that the other may decide to use tonight. They're going to lock it up now. Freebird Buddy Roberts with a momentary advantage, and then Mascaras brings him to his knees and then brings him back up again. Feet, flips, incredible. Mil Mascaras has Buddy Roberts in a mess, but Roberts gets to the ropes and they're going to have to break it up. Look at Buddy Roberts coming up thinking, well, I'm going to have to try something else. That did not work out at all. Now collar and elbow, Buddy Roberts with a full Nelson. Look at the upper body. Look at our cameraman getting a shot of that upper body strength of Mascaras, who simply moves his arms, breaks it, flips, kicks, and Roberts is in trouble and frustrated. Buddy Roberts goes to the rope and beats on it a while. This Mascaras, a tremendous wrestler. They lock up now. And now it's Mascaras' turn for the full Nelson. And look at Buddy Roberts. Look at his face. Look at the strain. Now he's trying to bring his arms down to get out of it. And oh, the groan. Mascaras lifts him off the ground and brings him down again. Freebird Buddy Roberts in a world of trouble. Out of it. Now what happens? Mascaras Buddy tried to roll over and get the same flip Mascaras put on him. It didn't work, and Buddy is right back in that full Nelson. Freebird Buddy Roberts, a tremendous wrestler in his own right. He is in there with Mascaras, though. Buddy trying to get to the ropes. Mascaras simply dropped him. Said, you want it out of the hold? You're out of the hold. Oh, I've never seen that one before. That's a new one on this old hillbilly. Mil Mascaras and Buddy Roberts. Mascaras now with the armbar. Look at this. All over the place. How do I describe what you're seeing there? Except look at the face of Buddy Roberts. You can see confusion and pain and frustration, and now he's screaming out at the referee. Pure frustration working on Buddy Roberts. Determination. Can you see it in the eyes of Mil Mascaras? Bringing this up into a surfboard now. A very painful hold. He's got Buddy Roberts in a world of trouble. Mascaras keeps switching these holds, and look at this. Roberts never knows what's going to happen to him next. Mil Mascaras, and now what are we going to do here? Well, he's got him all wrapped up in a combination of holds. Now he's going to bring him back to what looks like, no, he's going to let him go. He looked like he was going to put the surfboard on Buddy Roberts again, but he just let him walk out of the hold that time. Mil Mascaras and Buddy Roberts. Roberts tried the kick, it did not work. Mascaras has got him, and down he goes. Buddy Roberts just cannot get an offense going here against this unbelievable Mexican wrestler. And now, what's going to happen? Eye gouge. Buddy Roberts, out of frustration, out of whatever, has decided there is one thing he can do, and that is roughhouse, eye gouge. If they can't see you, they can't hurt you, right, Buddy? And now he's got Mascaras wrapped up in that tag team rope, and that is a straight and flagrant choke. The referee finally breaks it up. Right back to it goes Buddy Roberts. I told you at the beginning, this man will do anything and everything to win a wrestling match. And now he's turning it loose on Mascaras. Roberts taking him to the ropes. Well, where did that one land? Dangerously close. Buddy Roberts going up to the second rope now, balancing and down with the elbow across the back of the neck. This is not the beautiful wrestling you saw from Mascaras. And a stomp to the groin by Buddy Roberts. Goes for the cover. He got two of them, and Mascaras threw him out like a sack of beans. Mil Mascaras picked up by Roberts. Side breaker. Roberts goes for the cover. Makes the grab. Mascaras again throws out of it the tremendous upper body strength of Mil Mascaras. Now what are we going to do? This is going to be a neck breaker by Buddy Roberts. Roberts trying to wear Mascaras down. He's got to take that away from him. Going for the cover again. Can't get it. Buddy Roberts right back on the attack. Has Mascaras directly in front of us and rakes his eyes across that top rope. That rope is steel rope. And when you put someone's eye on that, the eye loses. Trust me. Now look at those chops. Mascaras shaking it off and coming back. But he doesn't. All right, who's going to win it? We're going to get the slug out. Look at Roberts wobbly. And now look at Mascaras. And listen to the crowd. Mil Mascaras unloads on Buddy Roberts. Now they go back into it. Roberts grabs him, takes him across the ring. Mascaras waiting on him. Buddy telegraphed that, and look what happens. Look at Buddy Roberts. He is hanging, and he is in trouble, and Mascaras loves it. Referee trying to run him out. Bill's going to ask the crowd. Buddy Roberts can't get out of there. His upper leg is hooked. The referee ought to step in and get him out of it. That's what he looks like he's going to do. And now Mil Mascaras back on the attack. He's going after the legs of Buddy Roberts. Pulls him out into the center of the ring. Roberts went 5 feet in the air. If he went an inch that time, came right down on the small of his back. Mil Mascaras. Look at that. When he throws you over his shoulders, the velocity alone, it looked like Buddy was going to go clear through the mat. It's a flying clothesline. Down goes Buddy Roberts. Now Mascaras waiting on him. What's this going to be? Throws him into the turnbuckle, comes across, and this time Mascaras telegraphs his move, and Buddy Roberts got the foot up. Buddy Roberts, one of the Freebirds from Bad Street, got a reverse start him, came out of the ring, backdropping. Ooh, what that does to your back. Mascaras going to the top rope. Buddy Roberts doesn't know where he is. Flying press, hooks the leg, and it's over. One of the most incredible wrestlers you will ever have an opportunity to see anywhere in the world has just beaten that man. You saw Buddy Roberts stunned down there, trying to shake it off. Look at the crowd. They don't like Buddy Roberts. They love Mil Mascaras. Mil Mascaras retains the Mexican Championship.
Mil Mascaras, an incredible performance. Congratulations.
And I promise this time, more action.
Mil Mascaras, no doubt about it, one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. Back on the road for you?
Yeah, I'm back to wrestling here next time here in Chicago and all over, because you know, I stay make movies in my country, wrestling in my country, and Japan and Europe, all over. I don't have too much time though. But to now, I will start to move a little more in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Mil Mascaras, still the Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. And now we continue with the Super Clash 85, the Night of Champions. Our next bout, Kerry Von Erich against gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. He's no stranger to you, Kerry.
That's right, you know. There tonight is electrified. But you know, I'm not only here to win for myself or for the people of the United States. I'm here to win for my little brother who's been laying in that hospital fighting for 5 weeks for his life. Like a champion he is. And I'm gonna fight like a champion tonight and whip that Jimmy Garvin all over this stadium.
And we all wish our very best for Mike Von Erich.
Your next match, scheduled one fall, your time limit 45 minutes. Introducing at 240 pounds from Tampa, Florida, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Ladies and gentlemen, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is being accompanied tonight by his valet, Precious. His opponent, 255 pounds, the reigning Texas champion out of Dallas, Texas. Here is Kerry Von Erich.
And now it continues. Super Clash 85, a night of champions. The greatest night in the history of professional wrestling. I'm Larry Nelson. These two guys know one another really, really well. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Kerry Von Erich. They have battled in Missouri. They have battled in Texas. They don't like one another at all. And now they're going to slug it out in Chicago. Precious always on him, and gorgeous Jimmy Garvin wrestles. She is very distracting. She is beautiful. She's treacherous, and here it goes. Now look at Precious. Gets right up in the face of Kerry Von Erich. Now that is taking the gentleman bit way, way for granted. Look at her. Like a little baby rooster in there. Precocious Precious. Slugging it out with Kerry Von Erich. Jimmy, meanwhile, just waiting in the corner. He doesn't seem to worry about it either. Precious will leave the ring now. And we should get on to some action here. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, 228 pounds out of Tampa, Florida. Look at that strut. Never seen anything quite like it. Kerry Von Erich, very strong, very well-built young man. 255, one of the sensational Von Erich brothers. He's out of Denton, Texas. Throws Garvin off right away. Kerry and Kevin, the late David Von Erich, and now Michael Von Erich, who they tell me is ill, very ill. All the sons of Fritz Von Erich, the sensational tradition out of Texas wrestling. Now they're going to get back at it again. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin locking it up with Kerry Von Erich. Kerry, the biggest, strongest of the Von Erich brothers, and now he's going to show Garvin a little bit of the Kerry Von Erich version of the gorgeous Jimmy Garvin strut. Incredible. Kerry Von Erich, one of the most popular wrestlers in the world. Crowd goes crazy every time they get a look at him. On the other hand, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, despised in most parts of the world. Kerry Von Erich throws him off and gets a shoulder block for his trouble. Garvin, it's getting wild. Von Erich! Von Erich! And Garvin gets out of town. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin took a couple of kicks, got out of town. Precious distracting Kerry Von Erich. Garvin with the ambush, it doesn't work. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin in trouble. Look at Kerry Von Erich. Garvin's got his foot over the ropes. You knew that was going to happen, and Kerry Von Erich only gets a 2 count. As the war continues on Superclass 85. Now there's Precious. Boy, she's mean. Look at that snare. Now, of course, very concerned because Kerry Von Erich is wearing out Jimmy Garvin. Wait a minute, Garvin come back out of that. And now it's Garvin that's in control. One mistake by Kerry Von Erich. He doesn't make very many of them, and it cost him dearly. He's taken a serious beating from gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Garvin down, Erich out of the way. And now it's Kerry Von Erich back in control again. A furious seesaw battle. Look at that one. Kerry Von Erich missing with the knee. He is hurt. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is stunned. Now here comes Garvin. Kerry Von Erich puts the boot to him. These two men have fought so many times. Look at them trading it toe for toe now. Bet your money on Kerry Von Erich in a direct showdown simply because he's got the weight advantage and the superior upper body strength. It's abdominal stretch. Kerry Von Erich puts a very painful hold on gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Kerry Von Erich has the abdominal stretch on gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Garvin somehow out of it. Kerry Von Erich relaxed for one moment, and that was enough. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin snapmare. Now we can't see the hold. This is a chin lock, but keep in mind we're dealing with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin here. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin nowhere near above slipping this thing into a chokehold. The referee keeping a very close eye on the situation. He knows what gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is up to. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with what I guess is a legal chin lock, trying to squeeze the life out of the head of Kerry Von Erich. Kerry's got to get up. This is a very difficult hold to break. It is painful. You wonder how these wrestlers, when they're in so much pain, can concentrate on anything. But what they've got to concentrate on is a move like that one. Von Erich is out of it. Shoulder block. Garvin ambushes him with the knee. And Kerry Von Erich, he's right on top of us. Kerry Von Erich knocked out of the ring. Right on our table. Now Precious is over there badgering Kerry Von Erich. You're wondering just how much Kerry Von Erich is going to take now, but Precious is doing her job. She distracts Kerry, and he doesn't seem to realize that he's got to get back in that ring. Kerry Von Erich walking around the ring. The referee is counting. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is waiting, and Kerry Von Erich, you wonder what's going on in his mind. And now the Gladiator coming right up into a knee from gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin knocks him out of the ring. Kerry Von Erich again trying to get back into the ring. Garvin is waiting on him again. Garvin with that chin lock again on Kerry Von Erich. Over the top rope, come on! Now, I don't know whose rules we're going by here. There are many organizations involved, the NWA and the AWA. But you're not supposed to be able to throw somebody over a top rope without a disqualification, and that's exactly what Garvin did. I don't know if they changed the rules for this match or if the referee didn't see it. And again, Kerry Von Erich has to stalk around that ring, find an opening, and get back in there to do battle with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. He got him with the shoulder. Kerry Von Erich, sunset flip, down is Garvin. 1, 2, that's all. He almost had him. Now Garvin put the shoulder to Kerry Von Erich, and we're right back to square one. Boot Von Erich. Punch Von Erich. Haymaker Von Erich. And it's all Von Erich. Down goes gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Look at that. Beautiful shot. He was playing possum on him and got out of the way just in time. Now look at Garvin. Garvin begging now, saying, no, 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 no. I'll be good. I swear I will. I don't want to play anymore. Von Erich's not having any of it. Kerry Von Erich thinking about putting that Von Erich claw hold on gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And if they get that claw hold on you, it is lights out. It is the Von Erich claw. You'll see Baron Von Raschke later on, and he has his own version of the German claw hold. Kerry Von Erich through the ropes. He hit that steel post. And that will do a number on anything. I guarantee you, anytime steel goes against skin, steel wins. Look at that! Well, you know what happened there? It's over. One punch from Kerry Von Erich. You saw Jimmy Garvin came down with a very tender area across those big ropes. Now Precious ambushing Kerry Von Erich in the ring. I don't know how long she's going to be able to get away with this. Garvin taking advantage of the distraction, and he's on Kerry Von Erich. Into the ropes. Kerry Von Erich has the claw hold on gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and throws him out of the ring. Kerry Von Erich came in to win this thing after it was all over. Yes, lady, throw that rose. Look at the love in the faces of these young ladies. They love Kerry Von Erich. The winner, Kerry Von Erich. And Kerry, congratulations. And I'd like to say one more time that everybody in Chicago wishing the very best for your brother, Michael.
That's right, you know, I think I've just found me a new home, and that's Chicago. I will be back.
Kerry Von Erich wins it over gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. With Nick Bockwinkel, Ray the Crippler Stevens, and Larry Zbyszko. This one's being called the Showdown. You got Scott Hall, Greg Gagne, and Curt Hennig.
Well, we're going to give him a wrestling lesson. I don't think it's going to take us very long.
Your comments, Mr. Bockwinkel.
Ditto to what Mr. Stevens said.
And the living legend, Larry Zbyszko.
We're going to take these three pukes, and we're going to show them what wrestling's all about, and put them right straight in the hospital where these jerks belong with the rest of these morons.
As for the other side of it, Greg Gagne, they said they were going to give you a wrestling lesson.
We'll find out who gives who a wrestling lesson, Larry. We're pumped up and ready for this one. We got our big man here, 6'8", 295 pounds. Take a look at him, Bockwinkel.
Scott Hall, they're going to come after you. They know you're strong. They'll try to outspeed you.
Well, I think we're ready for them, and I know I got two good partners here. I think we're all ready.
Who's got the experience factor, Curt?
Everybody knows these men got more experience than anybody in the AWA in the world right now, but I'm going to tell you what, Chicago, we're ready, and we're coming to get them, so let's go do it.
They're on their way to the ring this morning at Cleveland.
We have with us tonight a gentleman who for 9 years was the voice of professional wrestling in Chicago. He's a gentleman that most people in states like Ohio and further east are not even aware that he ever called a Major League Baseball game. He's been a Chicago sports fixture for years. He's worked out of this very ballpark as the voice of the White Sox. He's worked with the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago Bears. And he is also a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. And he's a gentleman I'm very happy to say that I have the opportunity to work for at his own station in Geneva, Illinois. Here to formally introduce this match, Jack Brickhouse.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. It is so great to see new young fans and the veterans like me all out here still following this marvelous sport. And I would be tempted, if it weren't for the importance of this show tonight, to really start reminiscing. But as it is, for old time's sake, taking me back to the days when we televised wrestling on Channel 9 3 nights a week for 9 years, it takes me back to those nights and those days tonight. And boy, what a pleasure to see a record-breaking crowd at this wrestling show. This is a 6-man tag team grudge match. 1 fall, 45-minute time limit. At 245 pounds, from Los Angeles, California, the 3-time former AWA champ, an old friend of yours and mine, Nick Bockwinkel. Nick. His partner, at 250 pounds, from San Francisco, California, Ray Crippler Stevens. And at 241 pounds, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Larry Zbyszko. Now their opponents. And the reason I'm here tonight is because this fella's father asked me to come. Because wrestling got its biggest television momentum for one bout, one night, when this man's father, all over the United States on television, wrestled the great champion Lou Thesz to a 1-hour draw at Marigold. And that started it. That started the era of wrestling we find ourselves enjoying tonight. His father was and is my dear friend, Vern Gagne. And so, what a pleasure tonight to introduce his son at 218 pounds from Mound, Minnesota, Greg Gagne. His partner at 234 pounds from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Curt Hennig. And at 296 pounds from Tampa, Florida, Scott Hall. The referee, by the way, is Larry Lasowski, and who can forget, some of us old-time wrestling fans, his father, Crusher Lasowski, one of the great Lasowski brothers. So Larry, welcome. 1 fall, 45-minute time limit. Thank you very much.
Well, this one should be an absolute war. Nick Bockwinkel, the former AWA heavyweight champion. Larry Zbyszko held the America's crown. Ray the Crippler Stevens, former U.S. champion and several regional crowns, against 2 second-generation wrestlers, Curt Hennig and Greg Gagne, and a newcomer, big Scott Hall. It's Hennig and Bockwinkel, collar and elbow. Bockwinkel also a second-generation wrestler. His dad, Warren. Curt Hennig's father, of course, Larry the Axe, and Greg Gagne, the legendary Vern Gagne's son. Bockwinkel breaking clean, and that's the last thing I expected to see early in this match. But sometimes Bockwinkel will do that. It's a psych-out thing he likes to do. Nick Bockwinkel may be the cagiest of them all. Curt Hennig, no doubt about it, can go toe-to-toe with anybody. Fast. He's got some experience now. Knowledge of the wrestling holds. And 2,000% heart. Collar and elbow for Bockwinkel and Hennig. Now something is happening here that the crowd is responding to that I can't see what's going on around here. I don't know what's going on, but something out of our range has brought the crowd to its feet. I don't know what that's all about. No, we don't need to, we'll find out about that later. Right now, Nick Bockwinkel flipping Curt Hennig as we get to the action in the ring. Nick Bockwinkel throws. Curt Hennig raises his arm with a sneer on his face. Bockwinkel, very arrogant. I've interviewed that man on radio and television everywhere else in the world. Maybe the most arrogant man in the world. Throws Curt Hennig down. Curt Hennig showing you the pain from that one. Bockwinkel's strong, but his main asset is his knowledge, his experience, and yes, he is a very intelligent wrestler. Bockwinkel trying to intimidate Curt Hennig here a little bit. I don't think that's going to go. Curt Hennig way beyond that. Maybe in his first year, but not now. Look at this. Curt Hennig blazing fast. Throws Bockwinkel. Picks him up. Snapmare. Now we're going to see the body slam. And all of a sudden, Bockwinkel doesn't want to be in the ring anymore. He's going to go over to his corner and cower a little bit. Curt Hennig being backed off by Larry Lazowski, our referee. And there you see what Bockwinkel sees. Curt Hennig on his feet and ready. He'll tag Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko, a notorious crybaby. And first thing he's going to do is complain about something to the referee. Larry Zbyszko. Now, I don't know what he's up to here. You never know with Zbyszko. He uses a kind of a feel-out process, a psych-out process. Always argues with the referee to set something up for later. Curt Hennig backing Zbyszko into the ropes. Referee going to count it. Zbyszko shoves him off. Curt Hennig returns the favor, and Zbyszko's out of the ring. Now what's going on? Zbyszko back in. Curt Hennig arm drag. Zbyszko is going crazy in that corner. Larry Lazowski says you can't push him. Bockwinkel gets into the act now. All they want to do is slow it down. Bockwinkel says, let's go with the rules. You're not going to see rules broken for no reason. But Curt Hennig, Greg Gagne, and this big man, Scott Hall, 296 pounds. Scott goes about 6'7". Curt Hennig now has the hammerlock on Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko, the former America's champion. That crown now held by Sergeant Slaughter. Zbyszko taking Hennig to the ropes, throws out of it, but he wasn't ready for Hennig coming up, and he got the block. That time he's ready. Slams, takes a foot in the face, arm drag. Hennig back in control. Bockwinkel comes in, Gagne comes in, Hall comes in. They all go back out and look for a second there like we were going to have a brawl. Curt Hennig keeping a wary eye on his opponent's corner. Now he's going to drag Zbyszko back into friendly turf and tag the big man, Scott Hall. They're going to share Larry Zbyszko's arms for a second. This is a very powerful man. Upper body strength, unbelievable. Now he's got that arm bar on Zbyszko. And again, it's not just the arm bar, but it's the downward pressure. So Zbyszko's got to get to his feet to take that off. At least alleviate part of it. They got Bockwinkel dangling on the ropes. You see Bach trying to hang on. He can't make it. Greg Gagne comes in. Greg Gagne would dearly love to get in there with Bockwinkel. Those two will wind up in there sooner or later if Greg has his way. Now look at this. Look at the muscles on that big Scott Hall. Look at that. Has that arm of Larry Zbyszko's, and you wonder how he's just not twisting it off. Zbyszko's squirming and wiggling, and look at Zbyszko. Just squirming all over trying to get out of there. Look at the back, look at the muscles pop through. Look at the neck, look at the everything on that Scott Hall. He turns Zbyszko loose, but Greg Gagne's got him. Did you see that? Excellent work by our camera people, keeping an eye on Greg Gagne, who went to work on Zbyszko. And now Scott Hall is back on him again. It's not funny if you're Larry Zbyszko. It's funny if you're Larry Nelson. Scott Hall's going to hold Zbyszko there now, and Greg Gagne coming out the second rope. He came right down on that arm. I don't see how he kept from breaking it, and he's cranking it up again. Bockwinkel started to come in, and look, did he draw a crowd? Curt Hennig and Scott Hall both on their way. Hey, we're sitting on a time bomb here. These guys are going to go nuts any second now. Greg Gagne, Ray the Crippler got him, and Ray got out, but Greg held on to the hold. No, he didn't. Zbyszko got loose. Look for a second there like Greg had been able to hold on. Greg Gagne taking Zbyszko to the ropes. Zbyszko comes off with the tackle. Now what? Gagne over him. Gagne in position. Airborne Zbyszko. Airborne Gagne. Down Zbyszko. It's happening too fast for Zbyszko, and he's right back in it with Greg Gagne. Look at this. And Greg goes right back to that arm. Tags Curt Hennig. Kurt will go to the second rope. More bad news for Larry Zbyszko's arm. Zbyszko got Kurt Hennig up, gave him a backdrop, and look at Hennig bound around. You know he's hurt. And now Bockwinkel is back in there. The three-time AWA heavyweight champion puts the knee to Kurt Hennig. Bockwinkel, a very methodical wrestler. Knows exactly what he wants to do. He told me that he is always thinking at least 3 steps ahead. And now, Kurt Hennig is in one of the worst positions you could possibly be in. Ray the Crippler Stevens has got him, and Nick Bockwinkel is distracting the referee. Now look, here comes Zbyszko. Now look what they got. You can see Kurt Hennig's throat being pulled down over that rope while Zbyszko pounds on him, and now Bockwinkel is back. And Bockwinkel bops him a few times. They've got him in bad trouble. I can't think of, look at this. Ray the Crippler, I was going to say I can't think of a worse place to be than in the corner of those 3 particular wrestlers. Ray the Crippler Stevens isn't going to let him out of there either. Now Ray will do the distracting. Bockwinkel the choking, and I don't know what Zbyszko's doing in there. Scott Hall makes it over, and he starts beating up everybody. They run him out of there. Ray Stevens will deposit Kurt Hennig on the ground outside the ring. And there's Kurt Hennig off the ring apron. Zbyszko down on him. Hennig trying to clear his head. Zbyszko right back on him. Slams him. That's hard ground. Look at Kurt Hennig. Look at the heart. You can see that he's stunned. You can see that he's in pain, but he's going to get up one way or another, and down with that knee comes Zbyszko. Kurt Hennig, look at that, look at his eyes, excellent shot. Kurt Hennig trying so hard to get up there, and now Ray the Crippler puts one on him. But Kurt Hennig, and now it's Bockwinkel that's on him. And now Greg Gagne coming around, he can't stand it anymore. Referee runs him off, and Zbyszko puts the knee back on Kurt Hennig. Now there the 3 of them are. Zbyszko gets the legal tag. Bockwinkel puts the boot to the midsection of Kurt Hennig. I don't see how Kurt Hennig is standing after all this. I really don't. I really don't. He's got to get back in that ring. Zbyszko is waiting for him. Zbyszko's got him. Hitting to the ropes. Abdominal stretch by Zbyszko. This could be the end of the wrestling match. Hennig needs to get to that tag. This is an incredibly painful hold. Look at Kurt Hennig struggling inch by precious inch. Look at the face of Kurt Hennig. The intensity. Can he make it? Yes. He got Greg Gagne, but the referee did not see the tag. They take Kurt Hennig back to the corner to get beat on again. Ray the Crippler Stevens working on him, and now Bockwinkel adds his. Here comes Zbyszko. The tag was made. The referee did not see it. Kurt Hennig, does he have anything left? Flipped, went the wrong way, went to the wrong corner, and now they got him again. Zbyszko now working on Kurt Hennig. Up, suplex. Zbyszko will go for it, but he didn't cook the leg, and Hennig has just enough to get out of it. He did not hook the leg at the 2.5 count. Kurt Hennig somehow managed to kick out of that thing. Zbyszko takes him to the ropes. Hennig knew what was coming, held up, got his kick in. Now he's got to get to his corner. He's in the wrong corner. Bockwinkel is not supposed to be over there. What's he doing over there? He puts one on Hennig. Now it's Bockwinkel that'll be the legal man into the ring, and he's going to head off Kurt Hennig. No, Hennig gets past him. Hennig trying to get past him. He can't get through Bockwinkel to his corner. And Kurt Hennig desperately needs a tag. Now Bockwinkel takes him to the ropes. He missed him. Hennig is off. Flying body press. Ray the Crippler Stevens breaks it up. Ray the Crippler Stevens saved the mission momentarily. But Kurt Hennig is in bad shape, and I know that he can't take much more. He'll take Bockwinkel to the ropes, and now what's going to happen? They collide, and now they're both hurt. Look at Bockwinkel. You can see that he's out of it. There's Hennig. He gets his eyes open and closed again. He is about out of it. Both these men are stunned. They collided head to head. Referee Larry Lazowski is counting on both of them. The tag made to Zbyszko. Kurt Hennig makes the tag. Greg Gagne. Greg Gagne has all three of them. And he's pounding on all three of them. Flying drop kick. Now he's got the crippler. Here comes Scott Hall, clobbered Zbyszko. They had Stevens in there. Hennig is on him. Kurt Hennig slams Zbyszko and Bockwinkel. Now Hall, now they're all in there. This one is getting out of hand. Larry Lazowski, your referee, has no idea what to do. I don't even know who the legal men in the ring are. Gagne, I think, but I don't know who is the legal man for the other team. Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall introduce Zbyszko and Bockwinkel. Greg Gagne has Ray the Crippler Stevens. Uh-oh. Power slam, that ought to do it. It did, it's over. Greg Gagne threw Ray the Crippler Stevens, who was the legal man in the ring, right at Scott Hall, who picked him up and clobbered him. And now outside the ring, Greg Gagne body slams Larry Zbyszko. And there are your winners, Kurt Hennig, Big Scott Hall, and Greg Gagne. Well, it was a wrestling lesson, all right. But Greg, you gave it to them.
Well, we tried to. They're a tough, tough team. Let's face it, they had us going there for a minute. We pulled it out with youth and experience, Bockwinkel. That's what beat you.
Scott Hall, they seem to have an experience factor on you, but you just outpowered them.
Yeah, I feel really fortunate. I have to give all the credit to my two partners. You know, they've been helping me, training with me. You know, I'm looking forward to a long, long relationship with them.
Kurt, I thought they had you in big trouble there for a while, buddy. I'm amazed by your resilience.
Well, they had me in very much trouble. I knew I had to make the tag or get pinned. This is where I had to dig down deep and pull out everything from my past. And finally, I got to that tag, and I told all the people here we were excited. We came to win, and we did it!
They got him! Your winners, Greg Gagne, Kurt Hennig, and Scott Hall. Here come the tag team champions of the world, the Road Warriors. And again, we've got another one that goes completely berserk before a bell sounds. The Road Warriors came in going absolutely wild. The Freebirds are all over the place. That's Michael Hayes wandering around like a madman out there. Boy, I'll tell you, this has been billed as the greatest night in the history of professional wrestling. And there's no getting around the fact that it has been just exactly that. Now, Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy are the Freebirds, the two Freebirds that are participants in this match. Buddy Roberts will be in the corner, but he's not supposed to be in the match. But normally, when you see two Freebirds fighting, you see three. On the other side, Hawk and Animal, the World Tag Team Champions, the Road Warriors, and now they're being introduced. And Precious Paul Ellering, who is always in their ring, corner that is, and has been known to interfere in their matches. This could be any number of things. This could be a brawl. It could be a wrestling match. Whatever it is, you know it is gonna be hot. They have been waiting for this match all over the world. And tonight we are finally gonna see it. They're checking over the Hawk. Michael Hayes pacing. Where did they get the makeup? For some reason,
The Freebirds decided to use their own face paint. They've never done that before. Now, where's Michael Hayes going, and why is he going there? Michael Hayes, and suddenly someone jumped out behind me. The crowd has gone crazy as Michael Hayes paces all over the stadium. There's Buddy Roberts. Meanwhile, the Road Warriors are waiting back in the ring, and now it's officially started. Terry Gordy against the Hawk. Hawk goes about 275, Gordy 290. Clothesline Hawk. And you can tell that the crowd seems to be favoring the champions. Look at this. Look at the awesome power of this man, the Hawk. He is intense, he is vicious, he knows he gives no quarters. And don't think that he's got a sissy in Terry Gordy. 290 pounds from Bad Street, USA, Atlanta, GA. He is incredible. Now Michael Hayes is in the ring. Michael goes about 255, and there is the kick to the Hawk. And Michael Hayes thrown by the Hawk, elbow Hayes, Hayes down. And man, look at the Hawk. I mean, he is just ready. Look at this. Hawk and Animal don't like to do anything but fight. Everything else is boring to them. And fight they can, and now you see the Hawk just doing a number on Freebird Michael Hayes. Here comes Animal trying to get at it. Hayes wants out of there, and I don't blame him. And now it is the big Road Warrior, the Animal, that has entered the ring. I don't know if he's a legal man or not. All I know is he's in there. He goes anywhere he wants to go. He is a brute and 290 pounds. Animal is the legal man in the ring. For the Freebirds, it will be 290-pound Terry Gordy. Both these guys at about 290 now. Both of them absolute powerhouses. And both of them will fight you with everything they've got for any reason. And now it's kind of a standoff. They're looking one another over collar and elbow. Gordy backs Animal in and goes for his eyes. And look at big Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Gordy hung up in the ring corner right above us. And if you think that makes me nervous, you are right. And then he belts Gordy. And now Animal picks Gordy up and slams him. I wish he would get him a little further away from me. Down goes Gordy. He tags Hawk, the legal man, in the ring, and he's going to come off that second rope and put one on Terry Gordy, and Gordy is down and hurt. But he tags Michael Hayes. And that could be bad news for Michael Hayes. Look at Hawk. Hawk just doesn't seem to want to move an inch. Buddy Roberts going crazy right around me. He and Precious Paul Ellering are ready to square off outside the ring, it looks like. In the ring, Michael Hayes. Now there's Roberts and Ellering threatening one another. In the ring, Michael Hayes with a headlock on the Hawk going to the ropes. Blocked by Hayes. Anything can happen in this situation. Sunset flip is what Hayes tries for, but he can't get it. The Hawk puts one right between his eyes, and there's another one. He went the wrong way. Don't do that, Michael. Now they're taking turns on him. It's like pitch and catch with a human head. Michael Hayes on his knees gets to his corner, and Terry Gordy is looking the situation over. Now Gordy does finally extend his hand reluctantly, to put it mildly. And now Terry Bam Bam Gordy's got to get in that ring. Bam Bam Gordy, 290 pounds, and most of it is muscle and grit. But man, I'll tell you, when you're in there against these Road Warriors, you're in there against the most devastating team that most people say they have ever seen. And meanwhile, on the outside of the ring, well, they finally backed off of one another. Precious Paul Ellering and Buddy Roberts seem to have calmed down a little while. In the ring, it's the Hawk and Gordy. Gordy with the eye gouge. And Gordy puts one that spins the Hawk around, and that is hard to do. This is a big, bad man. See what I mean? That'll do it, though. His shoulder hit that steel post. That would slow down anything human. And Gordy senses that maybe for the first time in this match, the Freebirds can get the event. Look at Gordy. Ferocious suplex. Now he is going crazy in there. Terry Gordy looking possessed. Animal trying to break things up, and all that does is give Gordy and Hayes both a chance to batter on the Hawk. But look, they still can't knock him down after everything they've given him. He's on his feet. Hawk will not go. No, they can't get him in there. And now Michael Hayes is beginning to figure out, I'm in trouble. 2, 3. And Hayes with the elbow breaks it up.
That's 5 minutes now. 5 minutes.
Hawk was having a real good time putting Hayes' head in the turnbuckle. Now Michael Hayes back with the control. Backbreaker. Hawk out of the way. Hayes makes a move, goes out of the ring. Gordy comes in from the other side. Now Hayes back in again. This has been a non-stop absolute war. They take Hawk's head into the big boot of Terry Gordy. And now they're both coming in with those elbows. Michael Hayes goes into his patented strut and leaves the ring. Terry Gordy has the Hawk under control. The Hawk has been in there a long time and taken a ton of punishment. And now he gets the pile driver. That one ought to be banned. That will stove up your entire spine, but look at Hawk still trying to get to his feet. The power of these Road Warriors. They're not the world champions for nothing. Look at Gordy putting one on the Hawk. The Hawk desperately needs a tag. He is one of the most powerful men in any sport, anywhere, in any world. But you just can't take this over and over and over again. They got to get him out of there. And now Michael Hayes comes in with the boots. Gordy stays in with a fist to the head. Hawk is, where did it come from? The Hawk is somehow fighting back. And the Hawk is giving it to both of them. You tell me where he found it. Then he tried to get back to his corner, and Michael Hayes headed him off. Lord knows if the animal ever does get in there. Now the Hawk knocks silly by that clothesline, and he goes down. His makeup smeared, torn, battered all over the place as you would expect. So is that of Terry Gordy and of Michael Hayes. Hayes slamming Hawk, getting cocky. Looks like he's going to go up on the ropes. But the Hawk is waiting on him, anticipating it. And now he's going to make a shot put out of Michael Hayes. Hayes gets to his corner. Gordy is in, and still the Hawk getting a temporary advantage, but he cannot make it to his corner. And now the Hawk, he had the chance. His aggression took him at Gordy instead, and he missed his chance to tag out. There was a collision there, head to head. They're both down, they're both hurt, and the referee's counting. This is a situation where somebody has got to get up. And again, the Hawk makes the tag! And Gordy jumps the animal, but not for long. And the animal, look at him, pick up 290-pound Terry Gordy, atomic drop, forearm. Power slam! Gets a 2 count, and Michael Hayes breaks it up. Both of the Road Warriors go after Hayes. Hawk is working on Hayes. Animal is battering on Gordy. This is out of control. They gotta stop it. Buddy Roberts, look at this. Hawk lifting Gordy by his throat. Roberts trying to get in. Precious Paul Ellering grabs Buddy Roberts. And now there's a war going on outside. It stops now. Ellering decks Roberts with one punch, but Roberts coming from behind. He's got Paul Ellering right from behind us. Ellering is down. Buddy Roberts stopping Ellering, but wait a minute, the Hawk has Buddy Roberts outside. Inside, Terry Gordy takes a punch at Animal. Misses him and knocks Gordy silly. Hayes silly. Everybody's knocking everybody else silly. Animal has absolutely lifted Gordy up off his shoulders and put him down. Hayes attacks. Power slam. Animal on Hayes. Meanwhile, the Hawk is beating the living bewutzes out of Buddy Roberts. A flying clothesline by Animal. He covers Gordy. The referee finally sees it. Hayes off the top rope to break that up. Meanwhile, on our table outside the ring, Hawk has just slammed Buddy Roberts' head into my table. Gordy covers Animal. There's a 3 count. What's going on? Can it be that the Freebirds have somehow won the Tag Team Championship of the world? What happened? In a wild one, somehow, someway, the fabulous Freebirds have taken the Tag Team Championship of the world from the Road Warriors. Verne Gagne, unbelievable from beginning to end.
Well, I think everybody here in the place saw it. I don't know if the people up there that put this sports vision up here on the camera. Can you replay? Can we get a replay of what happened here? Can we get a replay on the sports vision?
He covers Gordy. The referee finally sees it. Hayes off the top rope to break that up. Meanwhile, on our table outside the ring, Hawk has just slammed Buddy Roberts' head into my table. Gordy covers Animal. There's a 3 count. What's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, by virtue of the instant replay, once again, the belts and the title back in the hands of Chicago's own, the Road Warriors.
Well, you heard him, Ivan Koloff. They said it's all over for the Russians tonight.
You know, there's a lot of teams claim to be #1. But World Six-Man Tag Team Champion is Crusher Khrushchev, my nephew Nikita, and myself. And if you don't believe it, you just watch us when we go to ring. And when it is over, we'll have our hands raised in victory.
Crusher Khrushchev, they've got a lot of experience in that ring.
They say they're legends in their own time. We'll see when we do it right in front of all these American people and put them right down. And just like all you Americans, down.
Nikita Koloff, your comments.
Like all stinking Americans, they go down.
The battle for the NWA Six-Man Tag Team Championship is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NWA Six-Man Tag Team Title match is scheduled one fall at a 45-minute time limit. Introducing, first of all, the reigning champions at 290 pounds from Russia, Crusher Khrushchev. And at a combined weight of 565 pounds, also from the Soviet Union, Nikita and Ivan Koloff. And your challengers at 260 pounds, representing the Republic of Germany, here is Baron von Raschke. At 260 pounds, he calls home Reno, Nevada, Dick the Bruiser. And at 254 pounds, the wrestler that made Milwaukee famous, the Crusher. 1 fall, 45 minutes.
Well, it didn't even get a chance to get legally underway. The Crusher, the Bruiser, and Baron von Raschke going hog wild after these Russians. They don't like them. They said they didn't like them before we started this one. They said they were going down, and they're all over them. And now it is 6 men gone to war all over the ring. Now look at that. Dick the Bruiser with a fistful of Ivan Koloff's beard, not letting him go. The other two Russians now have the Crusher in the corner, and you keep thinking maybe somebody better get over there and do something about that. His teammates didn't see it. Now, who are going to be the legal people in the ring? Have we been able to figure that out yet? The Crusher being pinned. And this is Crusher Khrushchev in there. Already you can see blood on the head of Ivan Koloff. See that? He's cut already. I'm Larry Nelson. If I sound a little hoarse, it's because this has been a wild night of action. Now look at this. Distracted by the Bruiser, the Crusher takes one home and takes advantage, and here comes Baron von Raschke. And oh, is he pleased with himself. The Baron has a head, I was going to say a head full of hair on. Well, a lot of bald people in this ring. Look at that. 4 wrestlers, not a hairy head in the bunch. Baron von Raschke working over, I believe this is Nikita Koloff that has come into the ring now. This is a very big, mean Russian, Nikita Koloff. Now you see the crowd going crazy, shouting USA, and of course these Russians do not like that at all. Look at the blood already on the head of Ivan Koloff. In that opening melee, he got hurt. This Nikita Koloff is a very powerful man. Now you just saw him throw back Baron von Raschke, who goes about 285, 290 pounds on his own. Again, they lock up, and again, look at this Nikita Koloff. Just throw him off of there like he's a little boy. Baron's not going to put up. Baron's going to find a way around this sooner or later. He goes to the well once too often. He's going to find a claw hold waiting in it. Now he goes to a headlock. That's what you have to watch when you watch Baron von Raschke. He has a devastating claw hold of his own that he developed. That time Nikita came off, gave it to the Baron, and the Baron didn't budge. Shows him the claw, and Nikita didn't want anything in the world to do with it. Baron von Raschke, reputed to have the strongest hands in wrestling, and when he puts his claw hold on you, there's no getting away. Unless you can get to the ropes, you're beat, period. Kerry Von Erich also with the Von Erich claw you saw a little bit earlier. 2 variations. There he is, not just another pretty face. The big man from the Republic of Germany. Now look at this. We'll try to figure out, it is Ivan Koloff, the oldest, more experienced of the Koloffs of the entire Russian clan, and there Baron backdrops him. Ivan is already bleeding in the head. Baron almost went to that claw hold, and now he's simply pounding away on him. Baron von Raschke gave him the knee. Down goes Ivan Koloff. They call him the Russian Bear. Dick the Bruiser coming in. Dick the Bruiser puts one on the bloody head of Ivan Koloff. There's another one. Koloff misses. The Bruiser connects. The Baron gives one to Koloff. That's the Crusher putting one on Ivan Koloff. And now the Bruiser's got him again. And now he's going to take him to that turnbuckle. He's bleeding. Ivan Koloff, after taking all those punches, comes right back on Dick the Bruiser. He started to put the Bruiser's head in the turnbuckle, and the Bruiser just said no. Fist to the head. And now it looks like a Mexican standoff here.
The Americans and the Russians in a Mexican standoff. Well, there's a German in there too, Baron von Raschke. United Nations here. The dominant thing being the bald head. All right, a test of strength there. Dick the Bruiser against Ivan the Russian Bear Koloff. Two very powerful men. Both of them very skilled. And lots of experience on both sides here. There's the boot from Ivan Koloff, and again, trying to bring down Dick the Bruiser. Now they collide. You can see the Bruiser talking to himself here. Dick the Bruiser, been around for so many years, such a skilled wrestler. Ivan Koloff, same thing. He has held so many regional championships, as has Dick the Bruiser. Both of these men have long, glorious histories. Now what's going on? Koloff got right in the middle of the fray, grabbed the Crusher, took him to the boot of Crusher Khrushchev, who's in the ring now. Koloff and his cousin, I think, Crusher Khrushchev in there. Now he takes, all right, it's Crusher against Crusher, the Crusher against Crusher Khrushchev. And there is the American boot in the Russian belly. And now he's out of the ring. No, he isn't. That was the Crusher's idea, but he couldn't get him out of there. Baron von Raschke. Crusher Khrushchev thought he had it made, but no, they got him. First the Crusher, and then the Baron put one on him. Into the ropes, and it's the knee, 285, 290 pounds from the Baron, and now that knee in the back of the neck, and there is a chin lock. Baron von Raschke trying to take the head off of Crusher Khrushchev. Baron von Raschke just bearing down that big upper body of his. And he is giving that chin lock everything he's got. That is a chin lock, not a front face lock. There's a very subtle difference. Goes to the ropes to get out of it. Baron gives him the shoulder coming off. I think they both took a brunt on that one, and now Crusher Khrushchev seems to have the power going for him. Picks the Baron up. That is a shoulder breaker or neck breaker. And now he will tag the veteran of the team, Ivan Koloff, way up, brings the foot down. Now that was across the throat, and that's illegal. He'll go for a cover. He gets a couple of them, and Dick the Bruiser breaks it up. But the bad news is they've still got Baron von Raschke in trouble. He got out of the way, and Ivan Koloff got one on the inside of the leg. He's in a lot of pain, misses the punch. The Crusher connects. The Crusher taking Koloff, gives him the knee. The Crusher, snapmare. The Crusher all over the place. And now he's asking the crowd, where should I put my foot? And you see Ivan Koloff trying to protect a very precious area, but the elbow got it anyway. The crowd loving every second of it. The Crusher beating up Ivan Koloff, and now he's going to let Dick the Bruiser in there. The Crusher and the Bruiser are cousins in one of the great wrestling traditions. Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev are cousins. Nikita Koloff being Ivan's nephew. But now let's get back to the fact that Dick the Bruiser is just beating the living daylights. Now holding Ivan Koloff, so the Baron can come in and add some. Baron von Raschke with the leg across the chest. The goose step. This usually means the Baron's going to use the claw. And that is bad news for a bloody Ivan Koloff. He got him, and he's got him in the center of the ring. And that usually means there's no way home. Wait a minute. Crusher Khrushchev going way up, but the Crusher got him. Meanwhile, Dick the Bruiser on Nikita Koloff. Now they're fighting all over our table. I'm gonna hang in here as long as I can. And the Crusher brings Crusher Khrushchev down on our table. They're fighting outside the ring, inside the ring. Somehow the Baron has been pinned by a bloody Ivan Koloff. That means the match is over. Nikita Koloff ambushed. I don't know what exactly happened. All I know is somehow the Russians have held onto the belts.
now we have an opportunity to talk to Boris Zukov. You're on your way to the ring to challenge Sergeant Slaughter for the America's title.
Have you everybody see, comrades, they win the bout. Kolas, Khrushchev, I'm very proud of them. Now I take Slaughter, America's title. Who's gonna lead to Zukov? Who's gonna lead? Ruski, number 1, Ruski.
Boris Zukov on his way to the ring. He'll battle Sergeant Slaughter for the America's title. And now the man that is the host of the Monsters of the Mat series, the America's champion and America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter.
All right, it's great to be here tonight. See all the American people here to see me do one thing, and that's get justice. Justice for the USA. USA #1. You can tell who they're rooting for.
No doubt about who they're rooting for. Sergeant Slaughter on his way to the ring. Thank you for the flag. Sergeant Slaughter on his way to the ring to defend the America's title against Russian Boris Zukov.
Ladies and gentlemen, the America's Championship match, scheduled 1-4 with a 45-minute time limit. The challenger, 280 pounds, out of the Soviet Union, Boris Zukov. And the reigning America's champion, 303 pounds, hails out of Parris Island, South Carolina. Here is Sergeant Slaughter. 1-4, 45 minutes will be your time limit.
Boris Zukov attacking before the bell, and it's a slug out right away between Boris Zukov and Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter won that one, backed him up. Zukov tried the kick. The Sarge has got it. Now what's he gonna do with it? The referee trying to talk him out of doing anything nasty. Sergeant Slaughter asking the fans, and of course they want him to do anything he wants to this big Russian. Spins him around, eyes jab. Sergeant Slaughter, a genuine American hero. Now he has blinded Boris Zukov. Look at Zukov spinning around up there. He does not know what's happened to him, and now he's going to get a little more of the eyes across that top rope, and the crowd goes crazy. Boris Zukov can't see, swinging blind because he knows somewhere around there. Now they're taking us into the stands here. There's a commotion back there. We don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, back in the ring, Boris Zukov is being thrown into the turnbuckle right above us. Sergeant Slaughter working on Boris Zukov. Zukov puts the knee to Sergeant Slaughter. This is a seesaw slug out. We knew it was going to be. We know that these guys hate one another. Boris Zukov, I don't think likes anybody. Boy, is he out of the ring? He's hung up. Got his shoulder nailed on that steel post. And then Slaughter just throws him the rest of the way out. Boris Zukov, look at the head on this man. About 3 sizes, larger than a normal man's supposed to be. And he hits you with that thing. When he puts a headbutt on you, you know it forever. Slaughter, meanwhile, following him around outside the ring, working on his arm, and then puts one on his head. Zukov trying to find safety back in the ring. Slaughter right behind him. Look how methodical Sergeant Slaughter is being in this thing. Sergeant Slaughter getting an American flag from the crowd and taunting Boris Zukov with it. Charisma, and the boot when Zukov attacks. And another boot. There's the punch. Sergeant Slaughter kissing that flag and giving it back to the people that gave it to him.
People quite often bring flags, whatever, when Sergeant Slaughter is in the ring. Zukov switches it up, throws Slaughter out of the ring. Look how far out of the ring he finally landed. Zukov caught him just right, got the momentum going, and I thought he was going to throw him into the next county. Now they're outside of the ring, and here we go. Anything can happen. Zukov picks up Sergeant Slaughter, a body slam on the ground. Boris Zukov stomping away. His arm is still feeling it. He needs to get the feeling back in that arm, basically. Look at Slaughter. Look at the growl on the face of Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter getting ready to get back into it now. And yes, one of I don't know how many young fans across the country with the hats and the flags and whatever it takes to get Sergeant Slaughter going. Zukov on the ring apron. He kicks Sergeant Slaughter, literally kicks him back into the ring. Now here comes Zukov. This Boris Zukov, if you could put the word evil into a tangible thing, it would look like Boris Zukov. Zukov tearing at the eyes of Sergeant Slaughter, the head into the turnbuckle. Sergeant Slaughter's still on his feet. I don't see how. Boris Zukov now, flagrant violation, choking over the top of the rope and growling about it all the time. Boris Zukov has Slaughter up with the hair of the head, dropping his head over that top rope. Slaughter comes down, his windpipe meets that steel rope and his head snaps back, and you wonder how it didn't decapitate the man. And now look at this. The referee will get out of the way. Look at Boris Zukov. Look at the treachery in that man. Look at the intensity. You can hear that thing pop. Sergeant Slaughter, you can see that he's about out of it. The crowd is going crazy, screaming USA, trying to get Sergeant Slaughter back into the game, showing their support. Zukov, and it's a backbreaker. Now he'll go for the cover, the America's Crown on the line, and Slaughter kicks out of it. And now Boris Zukov trying to tear the nose off Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter has been a great America's champion, won the title from Larry Zbyszko, has defended it all over. And now Boris Zukov, of course Boris Zukov, this big Russian would like nothing better than be able to say he's the America's champion. Slaughter face first down into the mat. I don't know how much he's got left. But Zukov is trying to pound whatever might be there out of him. Slaughter rolling our way. He's just about right on our table, and Sergeant Slaughter falls down right in front of our table. Sergeant Slaughter is down, and here comes Boris Zukov. Boris Zukov grabbing Sergeant Slaughter, slamming him down on our broadcast table right next to me. There goes the Sarge. I'm trying to stay somewhere near to be able to report the action. That's me. And here comes Zukov. And there goes Slaughter. He's going to pile drive him on the ground, or at least try to. Boris Zukov can't get the Sarge up. The Sarge backdrops Zukov. It's absolute chaos now. Slaughter trying to get back in the ring. Slaughter is back in the ring. The referee, Larry Lazowski, begins a count on Boris Zukov. Zukov trying to climb into the ring now. Zukov on the second rope. Zukov climbing to the third rope. Sergeant Slaughter catches him there. And Slaughter slams Zukov. Zukov moves the ring a full inch, it seems. Maybe a foot. When he hits the ground, Slaughter right back on him, throws him into the ropes, elbow, and down goes Zukov, and the big Russian's in trouble, big trouble. Zukov doesn't seem to know where he is. Going to the ropes. The big drop kick from Sergeant Slaughter. How does a man that big get his body up in the air to kick like that? Slaughter has Zukov in trouble, and the America's Crown looks a little safer now, and he takes Zukov, backdrop. Look at the dazed look. Beautiful camera shot. The dazed look
on Boris Zukov. Slaughter brings him up. He's showing the crowd the Cobra Clutch. He hits referee Larry Lazowski. Lazowski knocked silly, and a cameraman went flying. Slaughter is trying to help referee Larry Lazowski. Meanwhile, in the background, Boris Zukov is loading up his elbow with some foreign object, but Slaughter got turned around before he could deliver it. Zukov in a corner. There's referee Larry Lazowski. He got knocked silly, and that time Zukov delivered that loaded elbow pad to the head of Sergeant Slaughter. I don't know what he put in there, but I know I saw him stick something in there. And now, fishing around in his tights, Zukov apparently took whatever he had in the elbow pad out, put it down in the trunks. Look at the blood pouring from the head of Sergeant Slaughter. Now, you know he had to have something loaded when we saw him take it out. And now Sergeant Slaughter, a bloody mess. Boris Zukov pounding away on him. Took his head to that steel post. You can hear the crack. And again, Slaughter rolling over our way. Referee Larry Lazowski calling for the bell. I don't know what's going on, but I know that Zukov will not back off Sergeant Slaughter. Referee Larry Lazowski. Referee Larry Lazowski calling for the bell. Slaughter suddenly back on his feet. He's a bloody mess chasing the Russian out of the ring. Slaughter still after Zukov. They're getting out in the crowd. These two just aren't going to stop at Slaughter dragging Zukov back to the ring. Zukov going out the other side. Boris Zukov is on his way out. Now the official decision is Zukov disqualified, and a battered and bloody but victorious Sergeant Slaughter is still the America's champion. Well, we know he loaded up that elbow with something to clobber you like that, but you came out of it. You're still the America's champion, America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter.
Well, you know, I don't know what he hit me with, but it almost knocked me out, knocked me silly. Got a good gash in my head, but I told him, and I'm telling any other foreign wrestler, I declared war on you. And we're gonna clean up America of trash and scum and maggots like you, because we don't need you. It's the American way when you live here. It's Slaughter's way. G.I. Joe, Yo Joe, as you can see by my outfit from head to toe, I'm G.I. Joe. And wherever I go, USA will always be number one, always has been. USA.
Bloodied but not bowed, victorious, America's champion is still Sergeant Slaughter. Well, this next battle will be a body slam contest. Sheik Adnan El-Kaissi, it's been a long time since we've seen you, and when we do, you show up with Kamala, the Ugandan giant.
I have promised to be back, and I'm back for good. And I have a surprise. And this man I have asked for, and I got him now. This is what the Arab people want. A winner, and we shall do our mission. My man Kamala from Uganda. This is just one of my many surprises. You're gonna be surprised later on.
It always scares me when he says that. Sheik Adnan El-Kaissi and Kamala, the Ugandan giant.
وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله.
Sheik Adnan El-Kaissi and Kamala, the Ugandan giant, on their way to the ring, where they will meet Jerry Blackwell in a body slam contest.
Here's the big man, the mountain from Stone Mountain, 472-pound Jerry Blackwell. And an old enemy of yours is waiting up there with Kamala, the Ugandan giant.
Let me tell you, I see him up there. And if he thinks for 1 minute he's going to stick his nose in my business again, he's got another thing coming, because I'll chop the damn thing off.
And away we go! The body slam match. Jerry Blackwell versus Kamala, the Ugandan giant.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the $10,000 body slam contest. There is a $10,000 check in this gentleman's hand, which will go to the wrestler who body slams the other here in this ring this evening. Right here, the $10,000 check. Now at 340 pounds, from Uganda, the Ugandan giant, here is Kamala. His opponent, a solid 473 pounds, Stone Mountain, Georgia, Jerry Blackwell. Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala is being managed this evening by none other than Sheikh Adnan Al-Kaisi.
Words. I have promised to be back, and I will be back, and this is my surprise. And you're gonna see many of them. Many surprises. We're gonna win our mission. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sheikh Adnan Al-Kaisi requests complete silence of the auditorium so that he might sing the Arabian national anthem.
هيا زمان يا سلاحي هيا زمان يا سلاحي وعاشت الأمة العربية وعاشت الأمة العربية وعاش كل عربي لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله.
One fall, 45 minutes, your time limit.
Jerry Blackwell, 472 pounds, the mountain from Stone Mountain, Georgia, going against that thing in the other corner, Kamala, the Ugandan giant. Doesn't seem to understand anything anybody says except for that man, the hated Sheikh Adnan Al-Kaisi. Kamala and Jerry Blackwell at it, hammer and tong, chop and punch. This is a body slam contest. To win it, you got to body slam the other guy. We got some big boys in here to be trying to body slam, and look at it. They're going at one another like crazy, exchanging headbutts of all things. Sitting next to me now, Wally Carbo, the television matchmaker who needs to be congratulated for putting this whole thing together. Wally's got a check down here for $10,000 that the winner of this match, whoever body slams the other one, is going to get. Wally, if you want to hold that check up, they'll try to get a shot of it. Wally Carbo holding a check here that is going to go to the winner of this body slam battle. There it is. Wally Carbo's name on it. 10 grand to the winner. One of these two guys has to body slam the other to take it home. Jerry Blackwell now taking a lot of punishment from this thing called Kamala, the Ugandan giant. Now look at that. Look at the look in his eyes. It just, you wonder if anything's at home in there. Nothing seems to be able to control this man. Sheikh Adnan Al-Kaisi doesn't even have that much control over him. And now Kamala working on Jerry Blackwell directly above us. The referee breaking it up. Kamala choking Jerry Blackwell again directly above us. Sheik Adnan El-Kaissie in there screaming at the referee. Blackwell trying to get up. Kamala with another, well, that time instead of the chop, he gave him the fist. Kamala, the Ugandan giant, puts that big chop on the head of Jerry Blackwell. That's Sheik Adnan El-Kaissie down there. Sheik Adnan El-Kaissie. Finally back after all this time. Now Jerry Blackwell, you see Jerry teetering just above me here. You think I'm nervous? You are right. That's 472 pounds that can come falling down. Come out of the Ugandan giant working on Jerry Blackwell. A body slam battle. Look at that thing. Look at that paint. Adnan El-Kaissie calling Jerry Blackwell a fat slob. Adnan just, you wonder what makes a man like that tick. Kamala stalking Jerry Blackwell. They found this man in the wilds of Uganda. Now Jerry Blackwell coming back. And Jerry Blackwell gets 475 pounds behind those punches of his. Kamala weighs about the same. Kamala coming over to tell the Sheik, hey, I got bopped. Now Kamala with a chop. What Jerry Blackwell got hold of, I don't know, but he tried to tear it off, and it looked like an important part of Kamala the Ugandan giant. Headbutt to the side of the head by Blackwell. Jerry Blackwell throwing Kamala across the ring. You wonder how the ropes can manage. Clothesline. Down goes Kamala. Jerry Blackwell puts that 472 pounds down across the upper chest of Kamala. Remember, the only way this one can end is if one of these guys body slams the other one. Blackwell going for it. A body slam means a victory and 10 grand, but he can't get him up. Kamala trying to get Blackwell up. And now it just seems to be a standoff between these two beasts. You look at Sheik Adnan El-Kaissie, and you know that whenever he's around, you got to keep an eye on him. He is capable of anything. I have seen deeds from this man that nobody could believe. Kamala again trying to pick Blackwell up and win it after all those chops. But he can't quite get it done. Kamala the Ugandan giant. That's 472 pounds he's trying to pick up and throw down. Jerry Blackwell puts the elbow to the back of the Ugandan's neck, and look at him. His nervous spine just responds to that thing, nervous system and spine, and just tenses him up. Chop by Uganda. Another one on the way. Jerry Blackwell has a hard head, but that is about a 500-pounder that is beaten on him there. Look at that. Over and over again, Jerry Blackwell wobbly now. Down. Come out of the Ugandan giant. Now he pats his belly and stomps his feet. This is some sort of a go-to-war ceremony as far as I've been able to understand. And go to war he does. Continuing again to batter Jerry Blackwell, backing into the ropes, the big splash. Well, wait a minute, what good's that gonna do? You gotta win this one with a body slam. Pinfall's just started all over again, I think. Come out of the Ugandan giant with a kick to the back of the neck of Jerry Blackwell. Look at the pain on Blackwell's face. And look at the determination and the monstrous size of Kamala the Ugandan giant. He's got Jerry Blackwell now. It looks like some sort of a nerve hold in there. Look at the pain. There can be no doubt. Look at Jerry Blackwell. That is agony. Look at this. Now you can see it. He's got him in some sort of a nerve hold here. Blackwell just in serious pain. Kamala has him in a nerve hold. Sheik Adnan El-Kaissie shouting instructions from the side of the ring. There's Adnan. Oh, look at the hate in his eyes. Ugh. Just encouraging his man to just grind away on Jerry Blackwell. And that's exactly what he's doing. Now the crowd is taking up the chant, Jerry, Jerry. And you see Blackwell responding, trying to get to his feet. That nerve hold so painful. Jerry Blackwell is not going to make it. The Ugandan giant puts that big chop on him. There's another one. It looks like all Blackwell's getting now is mad. I've seen this happen before. Jerry Blackwell hits a point where you just can't hurt him. He's getting up under these chops. The Ugandan giant doesn't know what's going on. The crowd has gone crazy, and so's Jerry Blackwell. The big splash. Look at Ugandan Giant. He can't quite handle it. Body slam, Blackwell, it's over. Wait a minute, here comes Adnan El-Casey from behind with that sword. Adnan El-Casey from behind puts that sword on the head of Jerry Blackwell. Adnan El-Casey attacked Jerry Blackwell from behind. Wally Carbo was going crazy. Adnan El-Casey took the check out of Wally Carbo's hand. And now he's beating on Jerry Blackwell while the Ugandan Giant holds him. He's got that sword that he's pounding across the head of Jerry Blackwell. Adnan El-Casey. Now the Ugandan Giant is chewing on the head. Wally Carbo wants the bell to be rang. Wally Carbo, the television matchmaker, going crazy, trying to break this up. Somebody get in here and stop this! Stop this! They are battering away on Jerry Blackwell. Adnan El-Casey hitting him again and again with that sword. Now the Ugandan Giant pounding. Nothing at all the referee can do. Sheikh Adnan El-Casey grabbed that check and kept it. They're still beating on Jerry Blackwell. The crowd, here comes, who we got here? I didn't see who came out. I think it was Drew Tossell, but he didn't last long. Threw him out immediately. And there goes Reichart. He's out of it. They can't seem to break this thing up. They continue to beat and pound on Jerry Blackwell. They are clobbering Jerry Blackwell. Wait a minute! Baron Von Raschke with a baseball bat. Baron Von Raschke with a baseball bat that he probably got from that dugout somewhere here at Comiskey Park. And the Baron clears house in a hurry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time of the match, 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
Hey, listen up.
Well, it broke wide open before we even had a chance to set up and go. Stan Hansen throws Rick Martel almost on top of us. They're fighting out here. I will hang on as long as I can. Unless they head this direction. We've had a wild night. Stan Hansen picks up a chair. Another chair. Stan Hansen has gone berserk like he usually does. Stan Hansen and Rick Martel have gone wild. And now look at Rick Martel. Rick Martel has Stan Hansen right beside us. Into the steel ring post goes Stan Hansen. Hansen trying to get to the ring. The referee is calling for the bell. No. Now he says the match is on. Oh, this is for the heavyweight championship of the world, the AWA heavyweight title. Stan the Lariat Hansen and Rick Martel. If you've never seen Stan Hansen before, I guarantee you there is nothing in the world like this man. He is crazed. Rick Martel, one of the classiest men in all of wrestling, and now Martel and Hansen are going toe-to-toe. Hansen's about 305 pounds. Ricky Martel at 238. Look at this. This is non-stop since before the belt. Martel with a sunset flip. Got two of them, and that big man from Texas managed to kick out of it. Hansen put the boot to Martel. Stan the Lariat Hansen takes Martel to the corner. Now there's a chop. Hansen taking him across court. Finally, we're getting some semblance of a wrestling match here. Hansen misses, hits the turnbuckle, and Martel's turn. Body slam, Rick Martel. Martel is down, and Hansen is on him. Now Martel with a hair of the head, and he's pounding on Stan Hansen. These guys have tangled in the past. They've never met for the title before, but they've had incidences at ringside where they have just beaten one another silly, not in an official match. First time they've met in the ring, and Stan Hansen now seems to have a slight advantage on Rick Martel. Now they're outside the ring again. Hansen takes Martel to the ring post, picks up a chair. Hansen brings the chair down on Martel. Hansen looks like he's gone looking for another chair. Hansen with another chair down on Martel. I tell you, this man will do anything in the world. I am flat scared of him. Martel gets him with the shoulder. Martel goes for the chair. Stan the Lariat Hansen feeling the taste of the chair. They're ringing the bell again. Hansen puts the cowbell upside Martel's head. Stan the Lariat Hansen is very dangerous. Rick Martel looking like he's going for a football tackle. They're fighting their way out to the infield. It has gone absolutely berserk. Hansen has Martel trapped in that bull bell, dragging him our way. Now he's dragging him past us. Martel finally gets back into it. Down everybody goes. The crowd's gone crazy. Hansen and Martel wrapped up in that bull rope. Can you believe it? I don't know where they're going, but they're battling every step of the way. The bell rang. No one told me what the decision was. Rick Martel now battering. I'm going to assume it was a double disqualification. Look at that. Martel slams Hansen. It's still going wild. They fought all the way back to the dugout, and Hansen threw Martel in. They're fighting in the dugout. Martel and Hansen, that's Wally Carbo trying to get in there to separate them. But I don't think anything human can separate these guys. Referee Larry Lazowski trying to do something. That's Vern Gagne trying to get in the middle of it. Vern Gagne trying to calm Martel down. The Frenchman has gone nuts. Stan Hansen was born that way. Now here's Vern Gagne we can see, and Rick Martel. I don't know what has happened from here. They are back down in that dugout. I do not know what the official decision was. I think it was a double disqualification. Not sure what it should have been. And now it's official. The referee has called it a double disqualification. Rick Martel retains the AWA Heavyweight Championship. Talking to Magnum TA, and Magnum, this is your shot at the dream every wrestler has. Your chance at the heavyweight championship of the world.
I told Ric Flair the thing between him and I wouldn't be over till I put him down to a 1, 2, 3. If I can get that belly to belly tonight, Ric Flair, you're gonna see a new world's heavyweight champion right here.
Magnum TA on his way to the ring to challenge Ric Flair for the heavyweight championship of the world. The NWA heavyweight champion
the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Magnum TA says he's settling it with you tonight and that he's taking the title.
I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that when the world champion's in town, he's going to take care of business. And I'm not walking into Chicago and letting Magnum TA do anything that I don't want him to do. When your name is Ric Flair, woo, and you're all there is, brother, you dictate when the bell rings.
The words of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, on his way to defend the heavyweight championship of the world against Magnum TA.
Ladies and gentlemen, this NWA World's Heavyweight Title match is scheduled one fall with a 45-minute time limit. The challenger from Virginia Beach, Virginia, 260 pounds, Magnum TA. And your reigning NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, 255 pounds, Minneapolis, Minnesota, is home to Ric Flair. One fall, 45 minutes will be your time limit.
Well, the NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world, Ric Flair, a sensational wrestler, a very arrogant man, very flashy. He loves his long, beautiful flowing gowns. He likes to be seen in the right places with the right kind of people, what he considers the right kind of people. Ric Flair taking his championship belt off from his waist. Magnum TA has been after Ric Flair, says it's not settled between these two. They have had problems in the past, and now Magnum TA is going to get his shot at the heavyweight championship of the world. Ric Flair likes to be called the Nature Boy, likes to talk about his pretty looks. Magnum TA likes to talk about winning the heavyweight championship of the world. And we're going to see what happens. They stare right into one another's eyes. No getting around it. There's the bell. And it's Flair against Magnum TA. Ric Flair in the green with the letters all over him. Magnum TA with some very sharp-looking boots on. He's got the basic black for his trunks. There's the boots of Ric Flair. Look at that. Everything monogrammed. I bet Ric Flair probably monograms his socks. Anything. Big flurry, but no advantage taken there. Ric Flair against Magnum TA, and this is for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. This Magnum TA, an impressive youngster. And he's got some years of wrestling behind him. Don't think that he is some kid nerve-wracked and intimidated in that ring. He knows what he's doing. That's why he got his shot against Ric Flair, the NWA Heavyweight Champion. And of course, Ric Flair has so much experience. He's been the NWA Champion a couple of years now. Good move by Flair. Good move by Magnum TA to get right back on top of it. Hammerlock Magnum TA has Flair down and in control, and that's something when you're talking about the heavyweight champion of the world. Way up and brings the knee down. Magnum TA working on the arm of Ric Flair, and I mean working on it. Look at the intensity in his eyes. Magnum TA got Ric Flair all wrapped up. That's basically a hammerlock and a wrist lock all at the same time. This Magnum TA knows his wrestling holds. This has been a night to remember. The night of champions. Star Clash 85 from Chicago, Illinois. Sensational matches tip to finish. And this should be a dandy to wrap it up. Ric Flair, look at that. That is the look of the champion. You hear about the eye of the tiger, you can see it in Ric Flair. And there, look at it in Magnum TA. Yeah, these fellas came here to work and win, buddy. Magnum TA gaining the advantage. Ric Flair powering out of it, powering, and Flair seems to be out of it. Look at Magnum TA bridge and fight back. And now it's a seesaw thing as these two men put raw strength against raw strength. Then again, when it looks like Ric Flair is going to topple him, TA manages to power his way back out of it. The crowd is going crazy, hollering for Magnum TA, and he finally turns it over. And you want to talk about boots. Look at those fancy rascals. You got a shot of them there for a moment on Magnum TA. These are two very good wrestlers here. Great wrestlers. Two of the top in the country right now. Ric Flair, of course, is heavyweight champion, is king of the mountain. They keep saying someday Ric Flair with the NWA championship will go against Rick Martel, who has the AWA championship, and then we will have one champion in this world. People have been trying to sign that match. Of course, it's not as simple as it sounds. Now Flair throws out of it. TA has a block for him. Magnum TA back to the ropes. Flair up and over. They meet in the middle, and Magnum TA just a little bit quicker with a toss and a drop kick, and Flair's in trouble. Flair come running in the center of the ring. I don't think he really realized what he was doing. Magnum TA picks him up and slams him down. And now Flair doesn't want it anymore. Look at Ric Flair. No, does not want any more to do with this. You see Flair cowering now, and Magnum TA urging him to get up and fight, but Flair wants none of it. Absolutely none of it. Ric Flair, I don't think he's hurt as bad as he wants to make us think. Ric Flair is the master at playing possum. Now he's up on one knee back into that corner. The referee holding Magnum TA off of him. And now counting on Ric Flair, saying, get up and let's get on with this thing. Now Ric Flair says, wait a minute. Ric Flair asking for just a moment. There are no timeouts in professional wrestling. Let's get this thing on with here. Ric Flair and Magnum TA. They're just kind of stalking one another around. Flair with that big knee to the midsection. And then the chop, and down goes Magnum TA. And Ric Flair wasn't hurt as bad as we thought he was. And now he is proving it and puts that chop again across Magnum TA, and there's the punch. Ric Flair and Magnum TA. Ric Flair in control. And somehow, some way, when you think the challenger has the champion on the run, if he is a champion in almost any sport, there is at least that one flurry. But Magnum TA is a heck of a challenger, maybe the champion tomorrow morning. Down goes Ric Flair. Now too late. TA seems he has a shot at a cover. It won't work. He hesitated just long enough and still got a count of two. Magnum TA now with that armbar on Ric Flair. Turns it over and cranks it down, and Magnum TA takes Ric Flair down and turns it into a hammerlock. Let's get him face first on the mat. Magnum TA cranking it up on the champion of the world. And look at the pain on Ric Flair. This is a champion and a problem. Ric Flair trying his best to get to his feet. That is the main problem in a hold like this. Of course, we've talked about it before. The pain is bad enough. So when you get the pain and then compound it with the fact that there's downward pressure, you've got a double problem. So Ric Flair solves part of his problem by getting to his feet, and now pounding on the ribs of Magnum TA, solves the rest of it and comes out of the hole. The champions know how to do that, of course. Flair throwing Magnum TA through the second rope. TA held on to it, came back in, and he's ripped, snorting mad, and Flair's in trouble. I counted 6 of them, and then he throws them across the ring. Magnum TA misses the drop kick. Flair had enough left to get out of the way of that one. When you don't make contact with something before you hit that mat, you're hurt when you throw one of those drop kicks. Now Ric Flair is stunned. The referee counting both men who are down and hurt. Ric Flair on his feet to the counting stops. Rick seems to be limping a little bit. Don't know where he get the leg. Chop, but Magnum TA does not go down. Ric Flair snapmare. Now what are we going to do here? Ric Flair's back. That's why we're getting a limp. And he did get thrown way across that ring. And now the knee down across the forehead. Ric Flair puts it on Magnum TA. And then he stands up and gives you one of the patented woos that Ric Flair is so famous for. Ric Flair, so proud of himself. They may be making a serious error here, one that could very easily cost him the championship of the world. Out there chiding the audience instead of following up his advantage on Magnum TA, who is an excellent wrestler. Ric Flair going with the knee to the midsection. And now Flair is going to backdrop and suplex Magnum TA. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, and Magnum TA kicks out of it.
Wake up and talk, buddy.
Ric Flair going with the abdominal stretch. And he's got Magnum TA in the center of the ring, and this could be it for the young challenger. He is saying no, he is not going to give it up, but I'll tell you, I have never seen anybody last in this hold for very long. Magnum TA, look at the pain, and yet you see the determination. Magnum TA, the furrowed brow, the pain showing through. Ric Flair is adding pressure to it, I think, from his angle by grabbing those trunks. He says no. Larry Lazowski catching him, and now he lets go of the back area and just comes up and put his hands up front. But Ric Flair now he goes back again. And yes, he does have the trunks. I don't know if Larry Lazowski caught him. Yes, he did, and he's going to break the hold. Ric Flair got caught. Ric Flair breaks the hold. And Ric Flair is shoving around here with Larry Lazowski, the referee, and Larry ain't going to put up with too much of that. And now Flair back to business on Magnum TA. Flair whipping him across the ropes. Into the corner goes Magnum TA. Now what are we going to do? Ric Flair, so vicious. A tremendous wrestler, and he's been a great champion these last couple of years. The chop on Magnum TA. You wonder what's keeping the kid up in the corner. Snapmare by Flair. Ric Flair has Magnum TA down in the center of the ring. Way up, missed the knee, and now it's anybody's ball game. Magnum TA going for a figure 4. This could do it. Look at Ric Flair going crazy. The pain in Ric Flair's eyes says it all. Then he leans back and they almost get a count. This is a submission hold. It is a hold that Ric Flair uses to perfection, but now look at Flair. Look at that. You can tell now if Ric Flair can turn this thing over, he can reverse the pressure on Magnum TA. But it is so hard to try to keep anything in mind when you're feeling that kind of pain and you know your belt's on the line. You hear Ric Flair scream in pain and you see it in his face. And Magnum TA putting on all the pressure that he possibly can find. This is horrible pain, but Ric Flair will not give it up. His only hope is to get to those ropes or turn the hold over. He made the ropes. So Magnum TA is going to have to break the hold. But Ric Flair's legs are practically useless to him. Magnum TA stalking him into the corner right above us. Magnum TA asking the crowd for approval. They give it, and back to the center of the ring goes Ric Flair. And back to the figure 4 leg locker. That's what Magnum TA is trying to get. Flair kicks out of it. And now he's trying to get back. He needs some rest. Those legs just can't take Ric Flair with a butt to the groin, and down goes Magnum TA. That gives Ric Flair a little breathing room. He's got to try to get out of the ring, take about a 10 count, and get some feeling in those legs, some feeling other than serious pain. Look at Ric Flair. That's the champion, though. Can barely walk, but back to the attack. He's trying to pick Magnum TA up. Suplex in, his legs gave out on him, and he got a suplex for his trouble in return. Larry Lazowski gets a 2 count on the heavyweight champion. Referee Larry Lazowski gets to 2, and then Magnum TA tries it again, but this time Flair kicks out of it with just 1. Magnum TA battling Ric Flair for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. Flair taking him to the ropes. Now what do we got? He's going to bridge him. He's got him back there, 2, and Flair gets loose. Magnum TA has Ric Flair in the corner and puts it on him. Once and then twice. There's your 3rd one. Ric Flair got an eye gouge in. And when you can't see him, you can't find him. And back goes Magnum TA. Ric Flair with that one short chop got it all under control. Ric Flair throws Magnum TA out just to the right of us. Magnum TA on the ground. That gets Ric Flair time to get some feeling other than pain back in his legs. And now Flair is going to follow Magnum TA out. They're right next to us. Flair chops Magnum TA. He goes down. And now Ric Flair takes Magnum TA into that steel post. Shoulder first. Flair chopping TA. They're down somewhere. A referee should be counting somebody out in this mess. Now you see Magnum TA still out of the ring. Ric Flair gets in it. Larry Lazowski is not counting. Now he starts to count on Magnum TA. Magnum TA tries to get in, gives Ric Flair the shoulder. Over the top rope, going for the sunset flip. Flair breaks it up with a punch to the head. It has been a seesaw battle every inch of the way and shows no sign of letting up. There's the kick. Ric Flair. Ric Flair, the heavyweight champion of the world, taking Magnum TA down, and he's got an arm lock on him again. Hammerlock, if you will. These two men have got to be getting tired. Professional wrestlers, the best conditioned athletes in the world. Now look at Flair. He's got his foot up there, using that rope for extra leverage. Now he's got the bottom strand for the extra leverage. Ric Flair will use any advantage, legal, illegal, or any shade of gray involved. But you got to give him credit. He has been able to hang on to the NWA Heavyweight Championship for a short time in the last 2 years, something like a month. Harley Race took and kept the title from Ric Flair. The rest of the last 2 years, it's all belonged to Flair. Now Ric Flair, again, every time he gets the referee's count underway, tries to get his foot up there to use the ropes. Gives him more leverage, which means he can get more pain into the hold and also more of an opportunity to shove the shoulders of Magnum TA down. But finally, the referee caught him doing it. And now Larry Lazowski makes Ric Flair break the hold. Magnum TA in serious pain in that arm, and now Ric Flair's got it in a lock. There's a punch from Magnum TA. Ric Flair grabs the hair to take him down. Larry Lazowski questioning him about it. Flair, of course, saying no. The referee's not buying it. There you hear it hollering back and forth. Flair threatening the job of referee Larry Lazowski. Ric Flair now has this hold with the downward pressure on it, a wrist lock and an arm bar, all in one beautiful championship motion. A little hair pull, and down goes Magnum TA. Ric Flair still denying any wrongdoing. Now look at this, he has got a mess. You can see the pain starting to shine through in the eyes of Magnum TA, and now for extra measure, the knee of Ric Flair. He took that arm of Magnum TA's and rammed it into that steel post not so very long ago. And that's how this whole thing got started. And since then, it's been one brutal arm hold after another by Ric Flair on Magnum TA.
Come on, let's go.
Ric Flair. Arm bar on Magnum TA in the center of the ring. Magnum TA showing the doubled up fist, trying to get to his feet. He's made his feet, but now can he get out of this hold? Probably no feeling left in that arm. Well, some when you do that to it. Look at the look on the face. Magnum TA. You see the sweat fly as the chop comes home by Ric Flair. Now he's wrapping that arm up on that steel rope. Ric Flair going crazy up there. Referee Larry Lazowski bounces him off. 5, and he's disqualified, and that time he let it go to a 4. Do keep in mind you cannot lose the championship belt on a disqualification. Ric Flair going back to getting his foot on that rope for the leverage again. Lazowski tried to catch him. Flair said he didn't do it. Lazowski didn't see him, so the hold is on. And now Ric Flair trying to knot up Magnum TA, and from this angle, we really don't know. I think he just got the arm bar. Now he's back into that part again and still trying to bridge him into a pin position. Magnum TA, cradled by Ric Flair, rolls him over. Can he hold him? He got two of them, and then look at the way that TA bridged out of that. Ric Flair and Magnum TA, head to head. Now Flair trying to pull him back into the position. He got one of his shoulders down. A 2 count. Flair going, come on. No way. Magnum TA got his shoulders up. Raw power against raw power. Ric Flair against Magnum TA. And now both wrestlers on their feet. Flair has gone berserk. Punches on Magnum TA. Flair thrown into the corner, comes out, sleeper hold, Magnum TA. He's got him in the center of the ring. And now Ric Flair caught in the clutches of the sleeper hold applied by Magnum TA. Magnum TA with the sleeper hold on Ric Flair. He's got him in the center of the ring, and I don't know if Flair goes out. The new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world is Magnum TA. Flair trying to get to the ropes. That's the only way out of this one. The only way out of it. Look at the determination on Flair and on Magnum TA. Flair can feel it slipping away. He hit the rope, but he can't get hold of it. Ric Flair trying desperately to keep the NWA Heavyweight Champion. Down they go. Now what's going to happen? TA cradles him, gets a 2 count, and Flair does get his foot over the ropes. Magnum TA has Ric Flair by the hair of the head, lifting him up now. Magnum TA picking Flair up, body slamming him. Off the ropes, high in the sky, but up come the knees. And down goes Magnum TA. And now they're both hurt, and they're both in the middle of the ring, and they both should be exhausted by now. 20 minutes have passed in this match. Magnum TA and Ric Flair have been going at it hammer and tong. And now Ric Flair picking Magnum TA up by the hair of the head again and bangs him. Here it goes. Punch for punch. Flair picking Magnum TA up and bringing him down with what amounts to a leg breaker. And now he's going for the figure 4 of his own. After putting a move on that could well have broken the leg of Magnum TA. Can Magnum TA handle this? It's the Ric Flair figure 4 hold. And believe me, it is brutal. And now Magnum TA sees his chance to win the NWA title slipping away. Ric Flair and Magnum TA battling it out for all they're worth. There's the pain on the face of Ric Flair. Magnum TA trying to turn it over. If he can turn it over, the pain will be on Flair and off of Magnum TA, and he's just about got him. And now Magnum TA seems to have turned it over. And now it's Ric Flair that's in trouble. He gets out of the hold, rolls towards the ring. Both these men are hurt. Neither one of them have a working pair of legs right now. Flair pulling himself by the ropes. And now it looks like he was going to go to the abdominal stretch. TA rolls him into a small package, gets a 2.5 count. And we're right back to square one with two exhausted wrestlers giving it everything they have got in a battle for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. Chop by Ric Flair. There is another chop by Ric Flair. Magnum TA and Ric Flair. Punch for punch now. Magnum TA seems to be gaining control. Ric Flair doesn't seem to know where he is. Both men totally exhausted. Across the rope, Flair goes over the top rope, and that's going to do it. And the referee said no, that Flair pulled himself over the top rope, but he didn't seem to call for the disqualification. And so now outside the ring, it's Magnum TA and Ric Flair. Flair with a kick. And now Flair takes Magnum TA's head. No! Magnum TA takes Flair's head to the steel ring post. And down goes the NWA Heavyweight Champion with Magnum TA on him. And again, well, no, this time he throws him at the ring. Flair directly above us trying to get in the ring. And I hope Magnum TA brings him in instead of throwing him out on me. And now Ric Flair bleeding from the forehead. Ric Flair bleeding from the forehead. Magnum TA standing up there and pounding on that cut. Looked like about 10 punches to me. TA in a frenzy. He can smell victory. But the way to get it is to put the champion's shoulders to the mat. 8 more punches to the forehead of Ric Flair. Flair taking a boxing stance and hollering, come on, but the truth is he doesn't seem to hardly be able to stand. Now Flair turns it around, gets no. Magnum TA. Ric Flair down face first, and this could be the end of the reign of the heavyweight champion of the world. No, it's only a 2 count. And Ric Flair has kicked out of it. Blood pouring from his forehead. Ric Flair with the championship edging away, asking for mercy, but he won't get any from this young man. Magnum TA wants that title and all the wealth and power and glory that it represents. Magnum TA has Ric Flair up, trying to throw him across the ring. Here goes Flair, into the corner, up, down. The champion can't possibly have much left. 1, 2, Flair kicks out of it. Ric Flair trying hard to fight back. Blood all over the forehead of the champion. Takes Magnum TA down. TA comes out of it with a head scissors. Somehow Flair managed to bridge his way into a hold here, and he's got Magnum TA in trouble, but he can't hold him down. What Flair needs more than anything is time. And look at Magnum TA, the power of that man. And now he's bringing Flair down, and this could be the end of it. 2.5. Magnum TA is a half a second from being the new heavyweight champion of the world. Magnum TA throws Flair into the ropes, takes him down with a power slam, and again tries to cover, but the referee got knocked silly. Referee Larry Lazowski rolls over, but again he can only get 2.5, and Magnum TA has gone crazy. The title would have been his if Larry Lazowski had not been clobbered in that battle. These two men, neither one can have very much left. Magnum TA again pounding on the bloody forehead of Ric Flair, throws him into the ropes, grabs him, reversed by TA. Now what are we gonna do? Sunset flip him, turns him around, down, it's reversed, and Flair somehow wins the title.
The official time, 25 minutes, 10 seconds. Ric Flair, the winner, and still NWA champion.
Ric Flair, somehow you managed to hang on to that title. Magnum TA claiming you grabbed the trunks.
Somehow, Chicago, although they're not used to having a winner, and you know what I'm talking about, you better get used to Ric Flair, woo, because he's all there is. You understand? Woo!
Ric Flair, still the NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world. Did he grab your trunks? That's what we want to know.
Of course he grabbed my trunks, and anybody that saw eyes, had eyes in their head, saw 1, 2, 3, belly-to-belly suplex right in the middle. Flair, it's a long way from being over.
It was billed as Superclash 85, a night of champions. It was called the greatest night in the history of professional wrestling. And I think you've got to admit that it lived up to its billing. Championship matches beginning to end, complete with grudge matches, a body slam match between two giants, every kind of thrill and spill you could think of. We almost got killed here at the table a couple of times when it got too close to us. The Kamala, the Ugandan giant, came over here chopping once, and I had to flee. All in all, I want to thank everybody involved in this production, the camera people, the directors, the floor people, a sensational job. I'm Larry Nelson. Thanks for being with us.